Napoleon Bonaparte is one of the most intriguing figures in history, and over the years, many myths and misconceptions have surrounded him. One of the most persistent beliefs is that he was unusually short. This perception has been fueled by various sources, including literature, art, and even popular culture, but the truth tells a different story. In reality, Napoleon Bonaparte was of average height for a man of his time. To understand this better, let's look at the context of Napoleon's life. He was born on August 15, 1769, in Corsica, which became a French territory shortly before his birth. He grew up during a period when the average height of men in Western Europe was significantly lower than what we might consider average today. Standing at about 5 feet 7 inches, Napoleon was not a giant by any means, but he was certainly not short either. In fact, this height would align closely with the average male height in France during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. The notion of Napoleon being short can be traced back to several factors. One major source of confusion may come from the difference between the French and British measurement systems of the time. When the British encountered Napoleon, they measured his height in feet and inches, while the French had their own system of measurements. This discrepancy led to some misunderstanding about his actual height. Additionally, many historical accounts have exaggerated or misinterpreted his stature, further adding to the legend of Napoleon the Small. Another contributing factor to this myth is the imagery associated with Napoleon. Many famous paintings and illustrations depict him standing next to his guards, who were often tall men. This visual juxtaposition may have led people to perceive him as shorter than he actually was. Moreover, the portrayal of him in cartoons and caricatures often emphasized his small stature, cementing this idea into the public consciousness. Interestingly, Napoleon himself was aware of this myth about his height. He embraced it as a piece of propaganda, sometimes even using it to his advantage. By deliberately appearing shorter in certain situations, he enhanced his presence and reminded others of the notion that despite his size, he possessed enormous authority and military capability. This clever manipulation of perception contributed to the legend of Napoleon as a powerful military leader who overcame his physical stature. While many may remember him for his military genius, political acumen, and ambitious reforms, his so-called shortness has unfortunately overshadowed these remarkable qualities. Beyond the myth, Napoleon's significant contributions to France and the world are worth exploring. He was a master strategist who led the French army in a series of successful campaigns against various European coalitions. His military tactics are still studied in military academies around the world today. Napoleon also played a crucial role in shaping modern France through his reforms. He established the Napoleonic Code, which laid the groundwork for civil law systems in many jurisdictions. This code emphasized principles such as legal equality and the protection of property rights, which have influenced legal frameworks far beyond France's borders. Furthermore, he implemented educational reforms and modernized the French economy, laying the foundation for a modern state. Another interesting aspect of Napoleon's legacy is his impact on nationalism. His conquests and the spread of revolutionary ideals across Europe sparked a sense of national identity among various people. While his ambition led to much conflict, it also inspired numerous independence movements and ultimately contributed to the formation of modern nation-states. In addition to his military and political legacy, Napoleon's personal life is equally fascinating. He married Josephine de Beauharnais, a strong-willed woman who had a significant impact on his life. Their tumultuous relationship, filled with love and heartbreak, offers a glimpse into the more human side of this iconic figure. After their divorce, Napoleon would go on to marry Marie-Louise, the daughter of the Austrian emperor, which was a strategic alliance that had considerable political implications. Despite the myths that surround him, Napoleon Bonaparte remains one of the most complex, ambitious, and influential leaders in history. His height may have been the subject of ridicule and misunderstanding, but it is his extraordinary achievements that truly define his legacy. In a world that often judges individuals by their appearances, Napoleon's story serves as a reminder that greatness is not determined by stature, but by actions, ideas, and the impact one has on the world. In conclusion, the legend of Napoleon being short is more a product of myth than reality. Standing at an average height for his time, he defied expectations and made an indelible mark on history. Understanding the truth about his height is just the beginning of unraveling the multifaceted persona of one of history's greatest figures. His life story is a rich tapestry woven with ambition, strategy, reform, and undeniable influence. Even if he was never the giant some claimed he was. The next time you encounter the tale of Napoleon's height, remember the complexity of his character and the impact he had on the course of European history. Although you may have heard the saying that bats are blind, the reality is quite different and far more fascinating. The phrase, blind as a bat, often simplifies a much more complex and astonishing reality. Bats, contrary to popular myth, actually possess good eyesight. Their vision is adapted to operate best in low light, allowing them to see clearly in the dim conditions of dusk or dawn. Bats are unique creatures that belong to the order Chiroptera, encompassing over 1,400 species. This diversity is reflected in their habitats, behaviors, and dietary preferences. While most people think of bats as nocturnal creatures flying in the night, they are incredibly adaptable animals. Some bats thrive in urban environments, expertly navigating through crowded skies and adapting to a variety of light conditions. Their ability to see doesn't solely depend on their eyes. It is complemented by their incredible skills in echolocation. Echolocation is a sophisticated biological sonar system that allows bats to navigate and hunt with precision, even in complete darkness. By emitting high-frequency sounds that bounce off objects, bats can interpret the returning echoes to create a mental map of their surroundings. This ability not only helps them locate prey, but also enables them to avoid obstacles while flying at impressive speeds. For example, a common nocturnal bat can reach speeds up to 160 kilometers per hour, all while dodging trees and other unseen barriers in the night sky. Imagine soaring through a tree-lined forest, surrounded by a chorus of insects. A bat launches into the air, emitting sharp sounds that pierce the night. Within moments, it is able to detect the faintest flutter of moth wings or the movement of a beetle, interpreting the echoes that return. Bats can discern the size, shape, and distance of these objects, allowing them to target their meals with remarkable accuracy. Some bats can even differentiate between different types of insects or avoid predators based purely on the feedback from their echolocation. How do these charming creatures manage to thrive in environments where other animals struggle? For one, their keen eyesight allows them to combine visual information with echolocation. In twilight, when light levels begin to drop, their eyesight becomes an essential tool for spotting movements and determining shapes. Bats often use their vision in tandem with sound to enhance their hunting efficiency. Beyond their remarkable hunting abilities, bats play a crucial role in their ecosystems. They are vital pollinators and seed dispersers, contributing to the health and growth of many plants. Some species, like the Mexican free-tailed bat, feast on vast quantities of insects, helping to control pest populations naturally. This relationship not only benefits crops, but also aids in maintaining ecological balance. Bats are also social creatures, and many species live in colonies that can consist of hundreds or even thousands of individuals. These colonies display fascinating behaviors, such as grooming and social calls. Some bats engage in cooperative hunting, where individuals work together to find and catch food. Their social dynamics add another layer of complexity to their lives, showcasing that these animals are not the solitary, shy creatures they are often portrayed to be. In addition to their social interactions and ecological importance, bats have an interesting history with humans. While some cultures view bats with fear or suspicion, others regard them with reverence. In many ancient civilizations, such as those in China and Europe, bats symbolized good fortune and happiness. As fascinating as these associations are, the reality of bats offers even more intrigue. Conservation efforts have gained momentum as we learn more about bats and their importance to biodiversity. Many species face threats from habitat loss, climate change, and disease, underscoring the need to protect their ecosystem. Organizations dedicated to the study and conservation of bats emphasize the significance of preserving their habitats, which are critical not only for the bats themselves, but for the intricate web of life that depends on them. As you consider the myth that bats are blind, remember that it reflects a misunderstanding of these incredible creatures. Bats are not merely creatures of the night. They are complex animals with unique adaptations that allow them to thrive in diverse environments. Their combination of excellent eyesight and echolocation makes them some of the most adept navigators of the animal kingdom. So, the next time you hear the expression about bats and blindness, take a moment to appreciate the full reality of these extraordinary mammals. Instead of shrouded in mystery, they emerge as symbols of adaptability and survival. With their unique abilities and essential roles in our ecosystems, bats are not just fascinating. They remind us of the beauty and diversity of the natural world around us. Each flutter of their wings is not merely a flight through darkness, but a testament to evolution's remarkable creativity. As you immerse yourself in the wonders of nature, give a nod to the bat, an often misunderstood yet undeniably fascinating creature. The image of the Viking warrior, bold and fierce, often includes the striking visual of a horned helmet. This imagery, so entrenched in popular culture, conjures images of robust figures charging into battle, swords raised and battle cries echoing across the tundra. However, when we peel back the layers of history surrounding these remarkable people, we find that the reality is far less flamboyant and far more practical. To understand why so many people associate Vikings with horned helmets, we must journey back to the 19th century. During this period, there was a surge of interest in Norse mythology and the Viking Age. This fascination was not merely scholarly, but also artistic. Composers and playwrights, seeking to evoke the spirit of ancient Norse tales, incorporated dramatic elements that could captivate their audiences. One of the most memorable of these was the use of horned helmets, which instantly created a striking visual that would enhance stage productions. Richard Wagner, a prominent composer of this era, played a significant role in popularizing these horned helmets through his operas, particularly in pieces like Der Ring des Nibelungen. The elaborate costumes featured in these performances, complete with the dramatic flair of horned helmets, sparked public imagination. This portrayal resonated widely, and soon the idea of Vikings wearing horned helmets became entrenched in the public psyche. The vivid imagery and theatricality of these operas overshadowed the less spectacular realities of Viking attire. Despite the captivating allure of these horns, archaeological evidence tells a different story. Excavations across historical Viking sites yield a treasure trove of artifacts, but nothing to substantiate the idea that horned helmets were ever a part of their real-world armor. Instead, archaeologists have uncovered helmets that were typically smooth and conical in shape. Made from iron or other metals, these helmets offered practical protection in battle, quite different from the exaggerated ornate appearances often depicted in modern media. The Vikings were known for their exceptional craftsmanship. Items recovered from tombs include intricately designed swords, shields, and other tools that reflect their dedication to both practicality and aesthetics. The helmets they wore in battle were likely designed for optimal durability and function, rather than the drama that horned helmets suggest. These helmets were not merely fashion statements but essential gear for protection during warfare. Interestingly, the misconception of horned helmets as a Viking standard has been perpetuated in various forms of media, from movies to cartoons, and even Halloween costumes. These portrayals often prioritize spectacle over historical accuracy. The imagery they convey has become almost synonymous with the Viking identity. Yet, recognizing that this grand depiction lacks authenticity opens up a broader discussion about how history is interpreted and represented in popular culture. The fascination with Viking history is understandable. They were extraordinary seafarers and warriors whose stories are filled with adventure, exploration, and bravery. Their sagas, rich with tales of gods, battles, and epic journeys, offer a glimpse into a world that seems both distant and exotic. While the fantasy of horned helmets adds an element of drama and interest, it does a disservice to the real stories that deserve recognition. Consider the Viking longships, marvels of engineering that navigated rough seas and allowed for extensive exploration. The craftsmanship displayed in creating these vessels is testament to the Viking spirit of ingenuity, showcasing their ability to conquer not just lands, but the seas. The helmets they actually wore, practical in design, were just one aspect of a warrior's gear, which included shields, weapons, and other pieces of armor that reflect their dedication to survivability in battle. Furthermore, the popularity of the horned helmet imagery can sometimes overshadow the broader complexities of Viking society. They were not simply raiders and warriors as often portrayed. Vikings were traders, explorers, and settlers who established trade routes and settlements far beyond their Scandinavian homeland. The Viking Age was marked by cultural exchanges that enriched both their communities and those they encountered. In many ways, this fascination with the horned helmet can be seen as a metaphor for how we construct our understanding of history. It highlights the tendency to romanticize the past, blending it with folklore, and sometimes neglecting the realities that shaped real lives and societies. While dramatic narratives can be compelling, acknowledging the facts is equally important. In conclusion, the iconic horned helmet offers a captivating visual, but the reality of Viking warriors was rooted in practicality and resilience. Their legacy is one of bold exploration and remarkable craftsmanship, reflected in their actual armor, ships, and stories. As we engage with Viking history, we can appreciate the tales, both real and embellished, while celebrating the rich tapestry of their lives without resorting to the flamboyance of myth. This journey through history invites us to question, explore, and understand the truth behind the legends, enriching our appreciation for our remarkable culture that shaped much of the world we know today. The idea that humans only utilize 10% of their brains is a concept that has lingered in popular culture for many years. It's a captivating notion, suggesting that the vast majority of our brain power remains untapped. This idea often paints a picture of hidden abilities waiting to be unleashed, as if we could unlock something extraordinary within ourselves. But what does current neuroscience tell us about this long-standing myth? Neuroscience has made significant strides over the past few decades, offering a clearer understanding of how our brains function. The reality is that we actually use almost every part of our brains, and many regions are active nearly all the time. This is evidenced by various neuroimaging techniques, such as functional magnetic resonance imaging and positron emission tomography, which allow scientists to observe brain activity in real time. The brain is a complex organ made up of roughly 86 billion neurons. These neurons communicate with each other through synapses, forming intricate networks that facilitate thought, emotion, movement, and countless other functions. When we engage in any activity, whether it's solving a mathematical problem, enjoying a piece of music, or simply daydreaming, multiple regions of the brain work together in harmony. This collaboration is essential for our cognitive and motor skills, and it affirms that no single area of the brain operates in isolation. Consider, for example, what happens when you read a book. While your eyes scan the words on the page, the visual cortex is activated to process the visual information. Simultaneously, areas of the brain responsible for language comprehension, such as Wernicke's area, are also engaged. Moreover, your brain may trigger emotional responses through the limbic system, connecting the story to your personal experiences. It's a beautiful dance of neural activity that showcases the incredible capabilities of our brain. Another common misconception about brain usage relates to intelligence. Some believe that individuals who excel in intellectual pursuits are somehow accessing more of their brain than average individuals. However, intelligence is not linked to the percentage of brain utilized, but rather to the efficiency of its networks. For instance, studies show that individuals who think more flexibly or creatively may have more efficient connections between disparate areas of the brain, allowing them to forge new pathways in thought. Furthermore, different activities stimulate various types of brain engagement. For instance, engaging in physical exercise activates motor regions, but it also releases neurotransmitters that enhance mood and focus. When learning a new skill, like playing a musical instrument or mastering a sport, different neural pathways are formed and strengthened. This neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and adapt, is a testament to its multifaceted functionality. It's also essential to recognize that areas of the brain, typically regarded as unused, may actually serve functions that are not immediately detectable. For instance, the so-called silent areas of the brain can play critical roles in background tasks, decision-making processes, or long-term planning. Research shows that even during rest, the brain is busy at work, maintaining critical functions that support overall health and well-being. The myth of the 10% brain usage can be traced back to early psychology in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, where it was suggested that most of the brain was dormant or inactive. This idea has been propagated in various forms across media, leading to misinformed beliefs about our brain's potential. In reality, the neural pathways we form throughout our lives are influenced by our experiences, education, and interactions. Engaging in new experiences, learning new languages, and developing habits can encourage the brain to strengthen old connections and create new ones. This further emphasizes the importance of lifelong learning and adaptation. The brain is, after all, dynamic and responsive. As we continue to explore the capabilities of our brains, technology will undoubtedly expand our understanding even further. With advancements in neuroimaging and other neuroscientific tools, we are uncovering the intricate workings of the brain with greater clarity. Every new discovery sheds light on how complex and astonishing our cognitive processes truly are. Fascinatingly, the brain also involves the interplay of various neurotransmitters and hormones that influence mood and behavior. The chemical milieu affects how we learn, remember, and interact with the world. Dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin are just a few examples of the myriad substances that play a role in shaping our experiences. In conclusion, the notion that humans only use 10% of their brains is a charming myth, but one that is contradicted by modern neuroscientific evidence. The complexity and capacity of our brains go far beyond what this simplistic idea suggests. The reality is that every part of the brain contributes to our experience of consciousness, learning, and interaction with the world. Embracing the intricacies of our brain encourages us to appreciate our cognitive abilities and inspires a sense of wonder about the human mind. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of this extraordinary organ, we may discover even more about what it means to be human and the limitless potential that lies within us. The Great Wall of China is often celebrated as one of the most recognizable structures on Earth, a marvel of engineering and a testament to human determination. Known for its historical significance and immense length, it stretches over thousands of miles across northern China. Many people believe that this magnificent wall is so massive that it can be seen from space with the naked eye. This popular notion has persisted for decades, leading to the question, is the Great Wall truly visible from space? To explore this idea, it is essential to consider the perspective of space and the conditions of visibility from such great distances. When astronauts venture into orbit, they are typically positioned at an altitude of around 200 miles or more above the Earth's surface. At this height, the view of the planet reveals a breathtaking tapestry of colors and textures. The land, oceans, and atmosphere blend together, creating stunning vistas that can truly take one's breath away. However, despite the vast size of the Great Wall, it merges with the natural landscape, often camouflaged among the mountains, deserts, and vegetation that surround it. The wall itself, constructed from a variety of materials including earth, wood, bricks, and stone, varies in color and texture. This means that, in many areas, it can be difficult to distinguish from its environment when viewed from space. The natural colors of the earth and the wall do not create a contrasting image strong enough for the naked eye to pick out the structure from such a great distance. Scientific studies and experiments have shown that, while there are indeed large structures that can be seen from low Earth orbit, the Great Wall does not showcase the visual clarity necessary for visibility. In fact, other human-made structures, such as roads, buildings, and cities, can also be challenging to see without assistance. Astronauts have reported that identifying specific landmarks requires help from increasingly advanced imaging technology, such as high-resolution cameras and image processing techniques. It is fascinating to consider how humans perceive the environment around them, both from the ground and from the sky. Up close, the Great Wall is a breathtaking experience, winding through mountain passes, valleys, and cities, each section steeped in history. Whether walking along its ancient stones or observing it from a nearby hilltop, visitors can appreciate the incredible work that went into creating this extraordinary feat. This lack of visibility from space has led to intriguing discussions about other large structures on Earth. People might mention the pyramids of Egypt or the streets of Tokyo, both of which have unique formations and layouts that might stand out more clearly. The Great Wall, with its meandering path does not share these distinct characteristics, often appearing as just another branch of the natural scenery when viewed from above. In addition to the challenges of visibility, the sheer scale of the Earth itself plays a crucial role. The planet's circumference is roughly 24,000 miles, indicating that even the largest man-made structures appear relatively small in comparison. When looked at from a distance, the landscape is dominated by geological formations, water bodies, and lush vegetation, further obscuring any single structure like the Great Wall. Another aspect to consider is the changing nature of the Earth's surface. Over centuries, erosion, vegetation growth, and urban development have altered many landscapes, including that of the region surrounding the Great Wall. This means that even for those who venture closer to the structure, changes over time have impacted its visibility and prominence in the environment. Despite the misconception, the idea that the Great Wall is visible from space captures the collective imagination. It showcases our fascination with both the structure itself and the incredible technology that allows us to explore our world from beyond its atmosphere. The great stories, tales of its construction, and legends associated with it generate a sense of awe, making it one of the most talked about human achievements throughout history. As we marvel at the wonders of Earth from above, the Great Wall stands as a monumental reminder of human resilience, creativity, and ambition. From the ground, it tells a story of ancient dynasties, a need for defense, and the forging of a national identity. From space, its presence may be missed, but its legacy continues to thrive among those who take the time to explore its history and significance. So next time you hear someone mention the visibility of the Great Wall from space, remember the intricate details surrounding the reality of such claims. It's not just about size, it involves a complex interplay of perception, environment, and the limits of human sight. Every grand achievement has its place within the larger canvas of Earth, where nature's beauty often outweighs even our most impressive constructions. The Great Wall may not be visible in the vastness of space, but it remains a cherished symbol of human endeavor and a marvel that will continue to inspire generations to come. Goldfish have long been the subject of a popular myth that suggests they only possess a memory span of 3 seconds. However, this notion has been debunked by scientists who have conducted various studies revealing that goldfish have much more impressive cognitive abilities than previously thought. In fact, goldfish can remember information for weeks, months, and even longer. This ability to remember is not only fascinating, but also highlights the complexity of these seemingly simple creatures. Recent research findings show that goldfish can learn to associate certain cues with significant events. For instance, if a goldfish is fed at a specific time and place, it will start to recognize and anticipate the conditions leading up to feeding time. Over time, they can even differentiate between various signals that indicate feeding, demonstrating that their memory isn't just about short bursts of recognition, but rather a deeper understanding of their environment. Moreover, experiments have shown that goldfish can be trained to perform tasks with rewards, reinforcing the idea that their memory can be shaped and improved through positive experiences. In one study, goldfish were able to navigate mazes to find food, learning the layout and remembering it for extended periods. This points to the idea that, far from the myth of a 3-second memory, goldfish have intricate learning capabilities that allow them to adapt their behavior based on past experiences. Another notable aspect of their memory is their social interaction. Goldfish can recognize their owners and may even develop preferences for certain individuals. This recognition isn't based solely on routine feeding. It's also a matter of familiarity. Goldfish have shown that they can remember faces and distinguish different human characteristics, which further emphasizes their cognitive skill. Additionally, goldfish exhibit behaviors that suggest they can learn through observation. When placed in an environment where they can see other goldfish learning a new task, they can pick up on these behaviors and replicate them, indicating that their memory can be influenced through social learning. This ability to learn from peers is invaluable in the wild, where goldfish must constantly navigate challenges in their habitats. Goldfish are also capable of remembering complex tasks. In laboratory settings, they have been trained to respond to auditory cues or visual signals and can remember these prompts for several months. One study highlighted that goldfish, trained with a simple bell sound, could remember the association of the bell with feeding long after the training period had ended. This showcases their ability to form long-term memories. Interestingly, their memory is not limited to food. Goldfish can also remember prior experiences that might be associated with danger. This means that if a goldfish has encountered a threat in its environment, it can recall that experience to avoid similar situations in the future, displaying an understanding of cause and effect that is quite sophisticated. The notion that different species have varying ways of processing memory is also evident with goldfish. Unlike many animals that may rely heavily on other senses, goldfish primarily use their sight. This talent for visual recognition aids them in forming memories that benefit their survival. The colors and shapes of objects in their environment become part of their learning processes, affecting how they interact with their surroundings. In addition to their learning capacity, goldfish also possess an impressive adaptability to different environments, as their memory allows them to retain information about their previous experiences. These fish can thrive in various habitats, whether natural lakes or aquariums. This adaptability can be seen in their interaction with their environment as they seek shelter, explore new terrains, and even engage in social dynamics with other fish. Another interesting area of research is the impact of environmental enrichment on goldfish memory. Providing goldfish with varied stimuli, such as different decorations in an aquarium, has been shown to enhance their cognitive abilities. Such conditions allow them to engage with their surroundings more deeply and encourage learning opportunities that further improve their memory capacity. All of this evidence challenges the long-held belief about goldfish and showcases the wonders of their cognitive functions. By debunking the myth of a 3-second memory, we come to appreciate the intelligence and complexity that lies within these aquatic creatures. Male and female goldfish alike show remarkable capabilities in terms of memory, learning, and social interaction. Understanding the characteristics and abilities of goldfish enriches our perspective on animal cognition. It encourages a greater appreciation for the lives of these vibrant creatures and inspires further exploration into their behaviors and natural history. As we delve deeper into the realm of animal intelligence, the goldfish stands out as a remarkable example of how perception often lags behind reality in terms of what lies beneath the surface, awaiting exploration and understanding. When it comes to the topic of children and their behavior, few subjects spark as much debate as sugar consumption. You may have heard the common belief that consuming sugar leads to hyperactivity in children. Many parents and caregivers have a tendency to associate sugary snacks and drinks with boisterous energy levels. However, an increasing body of research consistently challenges this notion, revealing a more complex relationship than simply attributing rowdiness to sugar. The idea that sugar fuels hyperactivity seems almost instinctual for many parents. After all, think about a birthday party filled with cake, ice cream, and sugary sodas. It is not uncommon to witness a room full of children buzzing with energy, laughing, and racing around. This phenomenon has led to the widespread assumption that sugar is responsible for these exuberant bursts of activity. Yet, as scientists delve deeper into the behavior of children in relation to their diets, they find that the connection between sugar and hyperactivity is far less clear than many might believe. A substantial amount of scientific literature suggests that there is no consistent evidence linking sugar consumption to increased hyperactivity. Various studies have examined the behavior of children while controlling for several factors, such as the time of day, the children's underlying conditions, and even their overall diet. For example, a landmark study conducted in the 1990s involved a group of children consumed either a sugary beverage or one with artificial sweeteners. The researchers closely observed their behavior, as well as their parents' perceptions of their energy levels. Surprisingly, those who drank the sugary drinks did not show any noticeable increase in hyperactive behavior compared to the group consuming artificial sweeteners. In fact, any changes in behavior were more closely tied to environmental factors or the presence of attentive adults during the testing period, rather than the type of drink consumed. Further investigations have explored how expectations can shape perceptions of behavior. In one study, researchers took a group of parents and told them their children were consuming a high-sugar diet, when in fact the children were given a drink with no sugar at all. The parents reported observing heightened levels of activity and impulsiveness in their children. This indicates that the beliefs and expectations held by caregivers might play a significant role in how children's behavior is interpreted. The social context cannot be overlooked either. Events that feature sugary treats often come with high-energy activities, exciting games, and a general atmosphere filled with joy and laughter. It is this environment that can lead to heightened energy levels rather than the sugar itself. When children are together with friends, they may feel more animated and lively, and these moments can easily be conflated with their consumption of sugar-rich treats. Additionally, the excitement surrounding treats can make those moments memorable for children and their parents alike, reinforcing the belief that sugar is directly correlated with heightened energy. However, it's essential to recognize that these bursts of excitement are often temporary and may not be linked to sugar consumption at all. To further illustrate this point, consider the routine patterns in children's behavior throughout the day. If sugar truly played a pivotal role in their energy levels, one would expect to see spikes in energy following sugary snacks during quiet, less stimulating times. However, research shows that children typically exhibit variable energy levels due to various influences such as sleep, activity levels, and emotional state, rather than their diet alone. In some cases, children with hyperactive impulsive behaviors, as defined by certain developmental conditions such as ADHD, may show heightened levels of activity irrespective of sugar intake. Instead, these behaviors are often influenced by neurological factors, environments, and lifestyle choices like screen time or physical activity. Here, diet plays a role, but it is often in the context of a much larger array of influences. So, what does this mean for parents? It suggests that being mindful of diet is important, yet it is equally vital to observe the broader context of children's behaviors. Focusing on balanced nutrition, ensuring consistent physical activity, and promoting emotional well-being can be far more impactful than merely monitoring sugar intake. It is crucial for caregivers to create environments in which children can thrive. Establishing routines that encourage play, creativity, and emotional expression can not only assist in channeling energy in positive ways, but also foster healthy development. In summary, whilst the belief that sugar causes hyperactivity has persisted for generations, scientific inquiries reveal that the link is more nuanced. As we continue to explore how diet interacts with human behavior, we uncover the complexities of childhood development. By looking beyond simplistic explanations, parents and caregivers can cultivate environments that support children's well-being and energy, irrespective of the sugar content in their snacks. Ultimately, it is the multifaceted nature of childhood behavior that deserves our attention, encouraging us to shape understanding rooted in evidence rather than assumption. Lemmings have long been a topic of fascination and misunderstanding, particularly concerning the idea that they commit mass suicide. This notion has been perpetuated through both popular culture and misrepresented nature documentaries. To explore the truth behind this misconception, we first need to understand the natural behaviors of lemmings, their ecology, and how their story has been misconstrued. Lemmings are small, furry rodents belonging to the family Coexisted. They thrive in the cold climates of the Arctic tundra, where they have adapted to survive in harsh environmental conditions. Often characterized by their round bodies and short tails, these creatures play an essential role in their ecosystem, serving as a food source for various predators, including Arctic foxes and snowy owls. Lemmings are known for their existence in large populations, which can dramatically fluctuate due to various environmental factors. One of the most intriguing aspects of lemming behavior is their migratory tendencies. During times of population growth, lemmings often experience a surge in numbers that can lead to resource scarcity. In search of food and suitable habitat, they engage in mass migrations, which can sometimes lead them to traverse dangerous terrains, including roads, cliffs, and bodies of water. It is in these moments that the tragic misunderstanding of their behavior takes hold. The infamous myth of lemmings committing mass suicide can be traced back to a particular documentary released in the 1950s. In this film, filmmakers staged a scene that depicted lemmings diving off a cliff into the ocean. The intention was to showcase the dramatic struggles of animals in the wild, but this sensational portrayal led to a gross misinterpretation of lemming behavior. What the filmmakers did not highlight was the idea that these lemmings were not intentionally ending their lives. Rather, they were caught in a chaotic migration process and simply following their instinctual behavior. Shockingly, many of these rodents did not perish at all, but were instead swept away by the waters. This staged footage has had enduring consequences, influencing public perception and leading to the erroneous belief that lemmings are predisposed to conduct mass suicides whenever their populations become too large. In reality, the lemming population dynamics are more complex and are influenced by various factors such as food availability, predation, and environmental changes. Furthermore, lemmings exhibit a range of behaviors that contradict the notion of mass suicide. When encountering obstacles or environmental distress, lemmings engage in various survival strategies rather than exhibiting self-destructive behavior. These include seeking shelter, foraging for food, and using their strong social bonds to navigate and adapt to their changing environment. The narrative surrounding lemmings sheds light on the broader issue of animal behavior and the misconceptions that can arise from human interpretations. This phenomenon is not limited to lemmings alone. Many species have been misunderstood due to human anthropomorphism, where we project human emotions and intentions onto animals. As a result, we may misinterpret their behaviors based on our emotional responses rather than scientific insights. Emphasizing the uniqueness of each animal and their behaviors can help cultivate a more accurate understanding of wildlife. By observing animals in their natural habitats and recognizing the complexities of their ecological roles, we can reshape our perspectives and foster a greater appreciation for the wonders of the natural world. As we delve deeper into the ecosystem that includes lemmings, we find that their survival strategies are vital not only for them, but for the entire tundra environment. Lemmings contribute to the nutrient cycle as they feed on vegetation and, in turn, become prey for larger animals. Their burrowing habits aerate the soil, promoting plant growth and maintaining the balance essential for their ecosystem's health. Hence, the story of lemmings also serves as a reminder of the delicate interplay between species in nature. Misunderstandings like those surrounding lemmings highlight the importance of accurate representation in wildlife documentaries and the vital role of science in debunking myths. By embracing a more curious and informed approach towards animal behaviors, we can learn to appreciate the complexities of life forms that share our planet. In conclusion, the tale of lemmings and the myth of mass suicide reflect our societal fascination with animal behavior and the constant grappling between myth and reality. Understanding the truth behind these charming creatures helps us recognize the beauty of natural instincts rather than viewing them through a lens marred by misunderstanding. Our world teems with diverse life, each species with its role and story. Learning about these stories invites us to respect and celebrate the intricate web of life surrounding us. So, the next time you hear about lemmings, remember they are not driven by the impulse of self-destruction, but by the natural rhythms of survival, migration, and adaptation that characterize the resilience of wildlife in the face of change. The tongue taste map is an idea that has captivated many for years. It depicts a color-coded diagram suggesting that specific areas of the tongue are only responsible for certain tastes: sweet at the tip, salty on the sides, sour at the back, and bitter at the very back. While this visualization seems intuitive and easy to understand, recent scientific findings tell a different story about how we perceive flavor. To understand the complexity of taste perception, we first need to explore what tastes are. Humans can generally identify 5 basic tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. The savory flavor, often associated with foods like mushrooms and ripe tomatoes. Each of these tastes plays a unique role in informing us about our food choices and environmental safety. For instance, sweetness often indicates energy-rich food, while bitterness can signal something toxic. Now, let's delve into the structure of the tongue. The tongue is not just a simple organ. It's a highly sensitive muscle packed with thousands of taste buds. Each taste bud contains specialized cells, known as taste receptor cells, which can detect all types of tastes. This means that the location of a taste bud does not limit its ability to sense a specific flavor. In fact, research has shown that receptors for all taste modalities can be found across the entire surface of the tongue. This realization debunks the tongue map theory, suggesting instead that our ability to taste is a more distributed process. For instance, when you take a bite of a sweet strawberry while enjoying a hint of its tartness, your taste buds, regardless of location on your tongue, work in tandem to create a complete flavor profile. The experience is not categorized by sections of the tongue, but is rather a holistic combination of sensations, including taste, aroma, and texture. Interestingly, the concept of localized taste perception may have been perpetuated for simplicity's sake. Early scientific illustrations simplified the complex interactions of taste receptors, making it easier for the general public to understand. However, as the science of taste evolved, researchers began to observe that while certain regions may show slight variances in sensitivity to specific tastes, all parts of the tongue work together to produce a unified taste experience. Beyond taste buds, our perception of flavor is significantly influenced by other factors, such as smell and even sight. Imagine biting into an orange. The sweet, citrus flavor you enjoy is amplified by the aroma wafting from the fruit's zest. Smell plays a crucial role as it communicates aromas to the olfactory receptors in your nose, which closely interact with taste. This is why food can seem bland when you have a cold or nasal congestion. The experience of eating is a full sensory experience, not just limited to taste. Now, consider texture. Texture contributes to the overall flavor profile of food and also influences how we perceive taste. For example, the crispiness of a chip contributes to its salty flavor, while the creaminess of chocolate heightens its sweetness. This interplay between taste, smell, and texture creates a rich tapestry of flavor, engaging our senses and our emotions. Moreover, cultural factors also shape our taste perceptions. Different societies have developed unique culinary traditions that highlight various flavors. In some cultures, bitter flavors are celebrated and incorporated into many dishes, while in others, the emphasis may be on sweetness or spiciness. Our individual experiences and backgrounds can further refine how we perceive and enjoy different tastes. The misunderstanding surrounding the tongue taste map illustrates one of the fascinating aspects of human biology. Our bodies are not mere collections of specialized organs with isolated functions, but rather interconnected systems where collaboration enhances our experiences. This interconnectedness is a reminder of the complexity of how we relate to the world around us. Consequently, the world of flavor is inviting, diverse, and intriguing. With each bite, we can discover not just food, but also culture, history, and the intricate biology that makes our sensory experiences so rich. So the next time you enjoy your favorite meal, remember that it's not just your tongue at work. It's an entire orchestra of senses playing a harmonious symphony that enriches our lives and brings joy to our existence. In exploring the true nature of how we taste, we also open the door to understanding nutrition and wellness on a deeper level. By appreciating the complexity of flavor, we can cultivate mindfulness in our eating habits, savoring each bite rather than rushing through meals. Engaging fully with the moment enhances our appreciation of food and can even lead to healthier choices and habits. In conclusion, while the tongue taste map may have provided an easy visual aid in the past, our knowledge has evolved. We've come to learn that taste is a wonderful integration of sensations that work together to create our rich experiences with food. Each flavor tells a story, one that is composed not just by where we taste it on our tongue, but by how our entire body interacts with and processes the world of flavor around us. Embracing this complexity allows us to enjoy an endless array of culinary adventures, always discovering something new and exciting. So take a moment to appreciate the journey of flavors. It's a delightful exploration that goes beyond what we can see and taste. In the realm of popular myths and misconceptions surrounding death, one of the most enduring is the idea that hair and nails continue to grow after a person has passed away. This notion grips the imagination, conjuring images of long hair and unkempt nails emerging from a lifeless body. However, this belief is steeped in a misunderstanding of what actually occurs in the hours and days following death. When a person dies, the body undergoes various changes. One of the most noticeable changes is the process of dehydration. As time progresses post-mortem, the skin begins to lose moisture. This loss of water leads to a shrinkage of the skin, especially around the fingertips and scalp. The resulting effect creates the illusion that hair and nails are growing. In reality, they are not experiencing any growth at all. To better understand this phenomenon, imagine a grape drying in the sun. As the fruit loses its moisture, it shrinks and appears smaller than it once was. Similarly, when the skin of a deceased person dehydrates, it pulls back from the hair follicles and nail beds, making it seem like hair and nails have extended beyond their usual length. In actuality, they remain the same size, but the change in appearance can be quite misleading. This misconception may also be fueled by cultural representations of death in film and literature. Stories often take creative liberties, exaggerating various aspects of the human experience, including what happens to our bodies after we die. The visual images of a character waking from a deep slumber with long flowing hair or dramatically unkempt nails can add to the myth. These portrayals can leave a lasting impression, shaping the beliefs of viewers and readers long after the story has been told. It is also worth noting that many bodies are prepared for viewing in funeral homes. The meticulous care that funeral directors provide includes grooming, which is meant to present the deceased in the most dignified manner possible. Hair may be styled, and nails may be carefully trimmed and painted, creating a polished appearance that contrasts sharply with the reality of natural decomposition. The process of bodily decay is fascinating in its own right. After death, the body enters several stages. The first stage is rigor mortis, when the muscles stiffen due to chemical changes in the body. This is followed by livor mortis, where the blood settles in the lowest parts of the body, causing a discoloration of the skin. It is during these early stages that the changes in appearance may occur, which can further confuse the issue of hair and nail growth. Temperature also plays a role in the speed of decomposition. In warmer climates, the body might dehydrate more quickly, which can accentuate the changes in the skin. In cooler environments, these processes may occur at a slower pace. However, regardless of the external conditions, hair and nails remain unchanged. For those studying anatomy and the life cycle of humans, the basics of growth and development clarify this common misconception. Hair and nails are composed of keratin, a type of protein that requires active bodily functions to grow. After death, all bodily functions cease, meaning that hair and nails can no longer grow or regenerate. Fascinatingly, human fascination with the mystery of death has led to numerous studies and discussions about what happens to our bodies. Throughout history, different cultures have developed rituals and beliefs surrounding death, often incorporating elements designed to honor the deceased while grappling with the uncertainty of what occurs afterward. These can include elaborate funerary rites, offerings, and even myths surrounding the afterlife. As we explore the themes related to death, we begin to glimpse how human perception shapes our understanding of our most profound experiences. The myths that arise often reflect our fears, hopes, and even our desire to connect with loved ones who have passed on. In recognizing the illusion caused by skin dehydration instead of true growth, we can appreciate the natural processes our bodies undergo while also embracing the unique ways we interact with the concepts of mortality and memory, ultimately transforming our understanding of the events that transpire after death can lead to deeper reflections on life itself. As we learn about the processes that distinguish life from death, we may find comfort in knowing that the physical manifestations of our existence will cease, but our essence continues on in the memories and legacies we leave behind. The stories we tell and the connections we forge become the lasting mark of who we are, long after the physical aspects fade away. The phenomenon of sleepwalking is a fascinating aspect of human behavior, steeped in mystery and often misunderstood. To comprehend the risks associated with waking a sleepwalker, it is essential to explore the nature of sleepwalking itself. Sleepwalking, medically known as somnambulism, typically occurs during the deep stages of non-rapid eye movement. Sleep. This activity can involve walking, performing complex tasks, or even leaving the house, all while the individual remains largely unaware of their action. Imagine someone wandering through their home in a trance-like state, eyes open but unseeing. This person may navigate obstacles, interact with objects, or even engage in conversations, albeit without any conscious memory of these actions upon waking. This intriguing behavior raises interesting questions about consciousness, self-awareness, and the mystery of our mind's processes during sleep. When a person is sleepwalking, their brain is in a unique state, caught between wakefulness and sleep. The part of the brain responsible for knowledge of self and surroundings is not fully operational, leading to the potential for confusion and disorientation. If you should encounter someone in this state, the instinct may be to gently wake them. However, a significant aspect to consider is that waking a sleepwalker can produce varying responses, which can sometimes lead to negative outcomes. Each individual is unique in their sleepwalking habits and reactions to being awakened. Some may respond with fear or panic, while others can feel lost or confused. Imagine someone being suddenly pulled from a dreamlike state, surrounded by the familiar yet disorienting environment of their home. This abrupt transition can evoke feelings of anxiety, and the startled response is a natural reaction to an unexpected situation. The startling experience can lead to confusion, sometimes causing a person to act out defensively if they do not quickly grasp what is happening. Instead of waking a sleepwalker, experts recommend guiding them back to bed gently and quietly. By gently taking their arm or leading them in the right direction, it ensures that the sleepwalker remains unaffected by the sudden transition. Utilizing a calm and soothing presence can help mitigate any discomfort they might feel, as the goal is to keep their environment safe and familiar, while minimizing unnecessary stress. For families who experience sleepwalking, understanding the triggers can play a crucial role in prevention. Stress, fatigue, and irregular sleep patterns often contribute to the frequency of these episodes. By creating a peaceful sleeping environment, caregivers can help minimize the likelihood of sleepwalking occurrences. Simple adjustments, such as reducing stressors, keeping a regular schedule, and ensuring a relaxing bedroom atmosphere, can make a difference. Technology, too, offers insight into this phenomenon. There are now devices designed to monitor sleep patterns, helping individuals recognize signs of sleep disturbances. Wearable gadgets can track movement during sleep, leading to new strategies for dealing with sleepwalking episodes. These innovations provide interesting avenues for research into the complexities of the human sleep cycle and behavior. In stories and folklore, sleepwalking has often been depicted as eerie or foreboding. Cultural representations can exaggerate the risks associated with this condition. However, studying sleepwalking through a scientific lens reveals that it is, in fact, a benign disorder for the most part. It's a testament to the brain's complexity and its ability to trigger physical actions while remaining largely unaware of them. People who sleepwalk typically do not require treatment unless it leads to harmful behaviors or injuries. In such cases, professionals can provide guidance on managing episodes through therapy and lifestyle changes. Education around sleepwalking is vital for reducing misconceptions and enabling people to approach the subject with understanding rather than fear. While the best course of action when encountering sleepwalkers is to guide rather than wake, understanding the condition helps us appreciate the wonders of the mind. The behaviors stemming from sleep itself open the door to intriguing discussions about what happens when we rest. Beyond sleepwalking, there are other nocturnal phenomena, including sleep-talking and night terrors, each painting a complex picture of the mysteries of slumber. In summary, the exploration of sleepwalking offers captivating insights into our mind's capabilities during times of rest. While the instinct might suggest immediately waking a sleepwalker, the potentially disorienting effects paint a clear picture of why gentler approaches lead to safer outcomes. Encouraging compassion and understanding allows us to foster environments that are safe and informative, paving the way for deeper connections with the intricate workings of our minds while we wander through dreams and reality intertwined. Chameleons are truly fascinating creatures, and one of their most remarkable traits is their ability to change color. Many people associate this ability solely with blending in with their surroundings, but there's much more to it than meets the eye. The color-changing process in chameleons is not just about camouflage. It serves several important functions, including communication and temperature regulation. To begin with, let's explore the primary reasons chameleons change their colors. One prominent factor is communication. Chameleons use their colors to express their mood and intentions. For instance, a chameleon may display brighter, more vibrant hues when it is excited or feeling aggressive. In this case, the brightness serves as a warning to others, signaling that it is not to be messed with. Conversely, duller, darker colors might indicate submission or stress. This color display can be particularly effective when two chameleons encounter one another, allowing them to assess each other's intentions and react accordingly. For chameleons, color change is not limited to interactions with other chameleons. It also plays a crucial role in social signaling. For example, during courtship, a male chameleon may flaunt brilliant colors to attract a female. This display of color can convey vitality and genetic fitness, making the male more appealing as a mate. In contrast, a female might respond with more subdued colors to signal her level of receptiveness. Another fascinating aspect of chameleons and their color-changing skin is the physiological mechanism behind it. Chameleons possess specialized cells known as chromatophores, which contain different pigments. These cells are layered beneath the chameleon's skin. By expanding or contracting these chromatophores, chameleons can manipulate their skin color. Additionally, beneath the chromatophores, there are other cells known as iridophores and leucophores, which reflect light in various ways and further contribute to the variety of colors displayed. This intricate system of cells works in harmony to create the stunning visual displays we associate with chameleons. Temperature regulation is another essential function of color change in chameleons. These reptiles are ectothermic, meaning they rely on environmental heat sources to regulate their body temperature. When a chameleon needs to warm up, it might change its coloration to darker shades. Dark colors absorb heat more efficiently from sunlight, helping to elevate the chameleon's body temperature more quickly. On the other hand, when a chameleon needs to cool down, it may choose lighter colors to reflect sunlight, thereby preventing overheating. This ability to adapt their skin color according to temperature is crucial for their survival in different habitats. Habitat can also influence the colors that chameleons display. Depending on the environment, chameleons adapt their colors not just for temperature control, but to blend in with their surroundings as well. For instance, a chameleon in a dense green forest may exhibit greens and browns, enabling it to merge seamlessly with the foliage. Meanwhile, a chameleon in a sandy desert might take on hues of beige and light yellow to camouflage against the sun-soaked terrain. This ability to adapt visually to different environments is key for foraging and protection from predators. Interestingly, chameleons do not rely solely on sight when changing their colors. They also have a high level of sensitivity to temperature, light, and even social cues. For example, factors such as the time of day and the presence of other animals can influence their coloration patterns. In this sense, chameleons are constantly in tune with their surroundings, allowing them to respond accurately and quickly to changes in their environment. It's worth noting that while color change is commonly associated with chameleons, they are not the only creatures with this ability. Other reptiles, some species of fish, and even certain cephalopods like octopuses can change their colors as well. However, chameleons are particularly renowned for their precise and dramatic transformations, which have captivated the attention of scientists and animal enthusiasts alike. In summary, the color-changing ability of chameleons is a marvel of nature, extending beyond the simplistic view of camouflage. It is a sophisticated process that combines communication, social interaction, and temperature regulation, showcasing the complexity of these remarkable reptiles. Understanding the multifaceted reasons behind why chameleons change color offers us a deeper appreciation, not only of these creatures, but also of the intricate ways in which life adapts to thrive in different environments. So, the next time you marvel at a chameleon's vibrant hues, remember that there's a story of communication and adaptation woven into every shade. This enchanting aspect of chameleons reminds us just how interconnected and multifaceted the animal kingdom truly is. Bulls and the color red seem to have an iconic connection, often portrayed in movies, cartoons, and popular culture as fierce beings driven mad by the sight of a matador's red cape. Yet, this widespread belief is a fascinating misconception. Bulls are actually color-blind to red. In fact, they see colors quite differently than humans do. Understanding how bulls perceive the world adds depth to this misconception. Bulls, like many other cattle, are unable to differentiate between red, green, and other hues on the color spectrum. They have dichromatic vision, meaning they only have two types of color receptors in their eyes, unlike humans who have three. This results in a vision that is more similar to that of a colorblind person. Bulls tend to see colors in shades of yellow and blue. Now, consider a bull standing in a ring while a matador manipulates a brightly colored cape. It is not the color of the cape that incites the bull's spirited reactions. It is the movement. Bulls are incredibly perceptive to motion. In the wild, any sudden movement can signal the presence of a predator or another threat. Thus, when the matador waves the cape, the bull instinctively reacts, believing it might face a potential danger. The rapid sways and flicks of the cape trigger a natural survival response. The role of movement is paramount here. Picture a quiet field where a gust of wind rustles through the grass. In that moment, a quiet yet thrilling signal spreads through animals that are attuned to their surroundings. Similarly, bulls are programmed to respond to dynamic stimuli rather than static colors. They focus on what is happening in front of them, reacting to the swift, dynamic movements that command their attention. In bullfighting cultures, the notion that bulls hate the color red persists, but it overshadows the real reason behind their behavior. The traditional cape used in these rituals, called a mantilla or muleta, is often red to mask the bloodstains. The color red is practical in this regard, but it has mistakenly led many to believe that bulls are enraged by it. This phenomenon isn't unique to bulls. Many animals exhibit similar traits where colors don't trigger their behavior. Rather, it's movement that stirs their instincts. For example, consider a dog chasing a frisbee. The vibrant colors of the toy might grab a human's attention, but to the dog, it is simply the swift movement and the desire to catch something in motion that drives their excitement. In nature, the interaction between creatures and their environment is a dance of perception. Take the example of birds. Many species are known to see a broader spectrum of colors, including ultraviolet light, which humans cannot perceive. This ability can influence everything from their mating rituals to foraging for food. Similarly, bulls, while limited in color vision, have honed in on specific traits in their environment, relying heavily on their acute senses to survive. Going beyond the realm of bulls, let's take a trip to the underwater world. Fish, much like bulls, rely on movement for interaction. Their vibrant colors serve to attract mates or signal warnings to rivals. Yet, when it comes to their predatory instincts, it's the flicking of fins and the rapid movements of smaller fish that catch their attention, rather than a single shade or hue. In essence, whether on land or underwater, the principles remain true. Movement plays a critical role in how animals adapt, respond, and thrive in their respective habitats. While myths persist about bulls and their relationship with the color red, it is essential to understand the biology and behavior driving these magnificent animals. Their reactions are a testament to their evolutionary journey, shaped by the need to survive rather than simply an aversion to a particular color. Reminiscing about the calm countryside, imagine a bull grazing peacefully under the warm sun. It is surrounded by the beauty of nature, green grass, colorful wildflowers, and the soothing sounds of a nearby stream. Its awareness is heightened not by the colors of its surroundings, but by the movement of life all around. The butterflies fluttering past, the rustling of leaves in the breeze, and the gentle sway of the grass all create an environment full of interesting and crucial narratives, providing the bull with a complete story of its habitat. Ultimately, this colorful misrepresentation of bulls and their vision reminds us that perceptions can often be clouded by tradition and tales. The real story emphasizes sensitivity to movement over the significance of color. This instructive narrative about bulls and their experience encourages a deeper appreciation for nature's complexities, reminding us that there is often much more than what meets the eye, driving the rich tapestry of life that surrounds us. The human body is a remarkable system, equipped with a variety of senses that help us navigate and understand our world. While most people are familiar with the classic five senses, sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell, there are actually additional senses that play crucial roles in our everyday experiences and interactions. Let's explore these essential senses and the fascinating ways they influence our perception. Starting with sight, we know that our eyes are powerful organs designed to interpret light and color. They allow us to perceive a vibrant world filled with myriad shapes and hues. The ability to see not only helps us recognize familiar faces and appreciate the beauty in nature, but it also plays a critical role in our safety. Visual cues alert us to potential dangers, like an oncoming vehicle or a slippery surface, ensuring we navigate our surroundings with care. Next, we have hearing, which connects us to the complex soundscape around us. Our ears capture a range of frequencies, from the soft rustle of leaves to the loud chatter of a bustling city. This sense is vital for communication. The nuances of voice can convey emotion and intent, while music can move us in profound ways, invoking feelings of joy, nostalgia, or even sadness. The auditory world enriches our experiences, allowing us to engage deeply with both people and our environment. Now let's consider the sense of taste. This remarkable ability allows us to experience a wonderful variety of flavors: sweet, salty, bitter, sour, and umami. Each type of taste provides us with valuable information about what we consume. For example, a bitter taste often signals the presence of potentially harmful substances, leading us to avoid certain foods for our safety. Taste also brings us together. Think of shared meals and celebrations where flavors become part of cherished memories, bonding us with family and friends. Touch is another essential sense that connects us intimately with the world. Through our skin, we can feel temperature, pressure, and texture. The softness of a loved one's hand, the warmth of the sun on our skin, or the cool breeze on a hot day all show us how touch can enhance our experiences. It's also an important means of communication. A gentle touch can convey support, reassurance, or love, while a firm grip can indicate confidence. Our sense of touch helps us navigate our surroundings, providing us information about the surfaces we encounter. Smell is often considered the most evocative of the senses. The ability to detect a vast array of scents influences our emotions and memories. A familiar aroma can whisk us back to a specific moment in time. A whiff of freshly baked cookies might remind us of Grandma's kitchen, while the scent of a particular perfume may bring someone special to mind. Smell can also affect our desire to eat. An enticing aroma can stimulate our appetite and enhance the overall dining experience. Beyond these 5 well-known senses lie additional ones that help us understand and experience the world. One such sense is proprioception, the awareness of our body's position in space. This incredible sense allows us to move with grace and coordination. It helps us execute seemingly simple tasks, like walking or reaching for an object, without needing to consciously think about each movement. Equally significant is the vestibular sense, which governs our balance and spatial orientation. This sense, located in our inner ear, helps us maintain our equilibrium. It allows us to perform physical activities, from dancing to riding a bicycle, while keeping us steady and preventing falls. Temperature sensitivity is another critical sense, allowing us to perceive hot and cold stimuli. We rely on this sense to protect ourselves from extremes. When we touch something hot or cold, our bodies reflexively react to avoid potential harm. This sense enhances our comfort and plays a role in various aspects of life, including choosing appropriate clothing for the weather or adjusting the thermostat in our homes. In addition to these, there are other less commonly considered senses, like interoception, which refers to our ability to perceive internal sensations related to our body's state, such as hunger, thirst, or the need to breathe. This sense is incredibly important for maintaining our health and well-being, as it helps us respond to our body's needs with appropriate actions. Understanding the collective power of these senses enriches our appreciation for the human experience. Each sense complements the others and contributes to a multisensory tapestry that shapes our reality. The interplay creates a holistic understanding of our environment, allowing us to respond thoughtfully to various situations. As we interact with the world, we continuously engage our senses, often without conscious thought. From a simple walk in the park, where the sights, sounds, and scents envelop us, to the joy of sharing a meal with loved ones, we are constantly experiencing life through the lens of our senses. This connectivity creates a profound sense of belonging and immersion in our surroundings. In conclusion, the senses are not just distinct pathways of perception, but interwoven channels that enrich our interactions, memories, and experiences. They guide us through the complexities of life, heightening our awareness and connection to the world around us. Embracing and valuing these senses can lead to a more profound appreciation of our experiences, illuminating the beauty and richness of everyday life. Ostriches are remarkable creatures that often capture our imagination with their size, speed, and unique behaviors. One widely held misconception is that these large birds bury their heads in the sand when scared. However, this idea is not only inaccurate, but also overlooks the fascinating reality of ostrich behavior. Let us delve deeper into the world of these flightless birds to dispel some myths and learn more about their intriguing habits. First things first, it's important to understand that ostriches are the largest living birds, capable of reaching heights of up to 9 feet. Their powerful long legs can carry them at impressive speeds, reaching up to 45 miles per hour. This ability to run fast is one of their primary means of evading predators, such as lions or hyenas. Rather than burying their heads when faced with danger, ostriches often rely on their keen eyesight and swift legs to either flee or hide. When ostriches feel threatened, they do not simply bury their heads in the sand. Instead, they have a unique defense mechanism. They tend to lie flat on the ground. This instinctive behavior helps them blend into their surroundings and become less noticeable to potential predators. When they stretch their necks and lie low, they take advantage of their natural camouflage, making it difficult for predators to spot them. This strategy allows them to remain hidden while they assess the situation, demonstrating their smart adaptation to survival. Another reason people often believe that ostriches bury their heads in the sand involves misunderstandings related to their egg care. Ostriches are known for being attentive parents, and the incubation process of their eggs is an essential part of their reproductive cycle. When in the nesting area, ostriches take turns covering their eggs to provide the necessary warmth. In doing so, they may appear as if they are burying their heads, when in fact they are simply protecting their offspring. The nests of ostriches are generally shallow depressions in the ground, where they lay large eggs, each weighing around 3 pounds. Incredibly, an ostrich egg is about the size of a medium grapefruit, and is the largest of any living land animal. To ensure the survival of their young, the adult ostriches must constantly keep an eye out for potential threats, while sometimes using their bodies to shield the eggs. It is a tender and fascinating sight to see these large birds standing so proudly over their nest, fully committed to the safety of their future chicks. Ostriches are also social animals, often found in small groups or flocks that can number up to 50 individuals. This social structure provides them with benefits, including increased vigilance against predators. Members of the flock keep an eye on each other and can alert one another to possible dangers in their environment. Their collective strength and communal care make them more resilient, further emphasizing the importance of social dynamics in the animal kingdom. Moreover, ostriches possess a unique way of communicating with one another. They use a variety of sounds, from booming calls to hissing and even drumming noises made by their chests. These sounds serve various purposes, such as attracting mates or signaling alarm. In this way, ostriches demonstrate their capability to interact and form bonds within their flocks, showcasing the social complexity within their species. Another fascinating aspect of ostriches is their diet. These birds are omnivorous and consume a variety of foods, including grasses, seeds, fruits, and insects. Their digestive system is highly efficient, enabling them to obtain essential nutrients from their varied diet. They often roam vast areas in search of food, using their strong legs to cover considerable distances quickly. This foraging behavior reflects their adaptability to different environments and willingness to explore for sustenance. Interestingly, ostriches have a unique anatomical feature: their eyes. These large, expressive eyes are not only remarkable for their size, but also for their exceptional vision. An ostrich's eyesight is among the best of any land animal. They can see predators from great distances, allowing them to make quick decisions and take action to avoid danger. This combination of powerful legs and sharp vision creates a formidable survival strategy. Additionally, one cannot discuss ostriches without mentioning their feathers. Unlike the feathers of flying birds, ostrich feathers are soft and fluffy, providing insulation and protection from the elements. Ostriches molt their feathers annually, making way for new ones. Interestingly, the soft feathers have also attracted human interest, leading to the ostrich farming industry, where feathers are harvested for various purposes, from fashion to home decor. The presence of ostriches in various cultures has further shaped their image. Throughout history, they have featured prominently in folklore and symbolism. From representations of speed and grace to artifacts showcasing their feathers, these extraordinary birds have left an indelible mark on human culture. As we explore the truth about ostriches and debunk the myth of them burying their heads in the sand, we discover a creature that is much more complex and fascinating. Their keen awareness, social behavior, unique nesting habits, and adaptability highlight why they have thrived in the wild. These remarkable birds showcase the beauty and resilience of nature, reminding us that life is full of surprises and misunderstandings to uncover. So, the next time you think of ostriches, remember their tremendous strength, their intricate social lives, and their incredible instincts. They are not hiding in the sand, but rather engaging with their environment in smart, unique ways that ensure their survival. Their story is one of resilience and adaptability, characteristics that resonate across the animal kingdom and remind us of the wonders of nature. Albert Einstein, one of the most iconic figures in the history of science, is often celebrated for his groundbreaking theories and profound intellect. However, the popular narrative that suggests he struggled with math during his school years is more myth than reality. In fact, when we delve deeper into the historical context of his early education, we discover that this notion is rooted in misunderstandings of the grading systems and the educational landscape of his time. Born in 1879 in Ulm, Germany, Einstein displayed signs of exceptional talent from a young age. He began to show an early interest in both mathematics and science. Contrary to the story that circulated for years about his supposed failures in math, Einstein excelled in this subject throughout his schooling. He was particularly good at calculus and advanced mathematics, often outperforming his peers. This was not merely a case of being good at math. His understanding of the subject was profound, even at an early age. The confusion surrounding Einstein's mathematical abilities stems from the grading systems used in European schools during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. In Germany, for instance, the grading scale ranged from 1 to 6, with 1 being the highest possible mark. While Einstein received a few lower grades in various subjects, including his mathematics class, these marks were interpreted out of context. For example, his overall performance in mathematics was strong, but he faced challenges with rigid teaching methods and traditional examinations that did not always reflect his understanding or creativity. Moreover, Einstein's rebellious spirit and independent thinking often clashed with the conventional educational approaches of his time. He was known to be curious and eager to explore complex theories that were not part of standard curricula. This instinctively led him to question the status quo, and sometimes his teachers did not appreciate his critical perspective. In the realm of mathematics itself, Einstein's journey took a distinctive path. While others may have memorized formulas and models, Einstein sought to grasp the underlying principles that govern them. His inclination for understanding the why behind mathematical concepts and physical laws set him apart from many of his contemporaries. This way of thinking later became a hallmark of his scientific approach, allowing him to make discoveries that would change our understanding of the universe. As he progressed through his schooling in Munich, Einstein's academic records were mixed. While he thrived in mathematics and physics, he found some subjects less engaging, particularly those that he felt lacked relevance to his interests. His grades reflected this disconnection. While he achieved excellent marks in the subjects he was passionate about, his performance in others suffered. This is not uncommon among students who have clear interests and passions, as their energy may be more focused. So, how did this all correlate with the narrative of Einstein not excelling in math? Misinterpretations have clouded his early years, and anecdotes from peers and teachers have contributed to this misunderstanding. At one point, educators may have dismissed Einstein's brilliance simply because of his unconventional learning style and his tendency to challenge normativity. In the grand scheme, it is essential to acknowledge that even geniuses are not immune to misunderstanding and disparate perceptions. The story of Einstein's early schooling serves as a reminder that traditional measures of intelligence, like grades and tests, do not always tell the full story. Many great thinkers, innovators, and artists throughout history have faced similar misconceptions. Their journeys often involve overcoming barriers imposed by conventional evaluation systems. As a young man, Einstein's pursuit of knowledge continued despite the challenges he faced. He furthered his education at the Polytechnic Institute in Zurich, where he not only honed his skills in math, but also formed friendships with other forward-thinking individuals. His time at the Institute was critical in enabling him to embrace his unique approaches to problem-solving, solidifying the competencies that would later lead him to make revolutionary contributions to theoretical physics. Ultimately, the tale of Einstein and math teaches us several essential lessons. First, it highlights how easily a myth can be created, seemingly benign in its nature, yet lingering in popular culture. It also demonstrates the importance of a student's passion and the need for educational systems to recognize and foster individual strengths rather than merely assessing knowledge through traditional means. Moreover, it ignites curiosity about the nature of genius and the diverse ways it can manifest. Each individual has a unique shift in learning styles, interests, and capacities. Einstein's experience reflects the truth that standardized measures with rigid frameworks often fail to encapsulate the dimensions of a person's intelligence, especially someone with a mind as expansive and innovative as his. In conclusion, Albert Einstein did not fail at math during his schooling. Rather, he excelled in it amidst a backdrop of educational structures that did not always align with his way of learning. As we explore these myths and truths about his early life, we gain valuable insight into the nature of education, intelligence, and the pathways to creativity. This understanding invites us to encourage and appreciate diverse thinking, fostering environments that allow all learners to reach their fullest potential. Mount Everest stands as a monumental pinnacle among the world's mountains, commanding global recognition as the highest point on Earth. When people think of the highest mountain, Everest is often the first that comes to mind. It reaches an impressive altitude of 29,029 feet, or 8,848 meters above sea level, dominating the landscape of the Himalayas in Asia. This staggering height has captivated adventurers, climbers, and geologists alike, making it a focal point for exploration and study. The allure of Everest is not just in its height, but in its rich history and the many challenges it presents to those who dare to take on its slopes. Standing on the summit is seen as the ultimate achievement for mountaineers around the globe. The mountain's harsh climate, unpredictable weather, and the physical demands of the ascent create an environment that tests even the most seasoned climbers. Every year, thousands flock to its base camps, each driven by personal dreams of triumph, adventure, or simply the thrill of undertaking something extraordinary. However, while Everest is the highest point when measured from sea level, the journey of understanding the heights of mountains takes us deeper into a discussion about what it truly means to be tall. For instance, did you know that the tallest mountain on Earth, if measured from its base to its summit, is actually Mauna Kea? Located in Hawaii, Mauna Kea rises over 33,500 feet from its base on the ocean floor to its peak, towering above Everest when one considers the entirety of its structure. Mauna Kea begins deep beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, where its base rests around 19,700 feet below sea level. This underwater foundation contributes significantly to its overall height. Once you scale that hidden elevation, you then emerge to the majestic volcanic summit that pierces the sky at 13,796 feet above sea level. This unique characteristic makes Mauna Kea a fascinating subject of study for geologists and oceanographers alike. It reveals how mountain heights can be deceptive based on the perspective from which they are measured. Everest represents the ultimate challenge in climbing, while Mauna Kea serves as a reminder of the hidden wonders of the ocean floor. The difference in perceived heights encourages us to appreciate not just the visible peaks, but also the vast structures that lie beneath the surface. Moreover, Mauna Kea is more than just a towering giant. It is a sacred site for the native Hawaiian community. The summit is seen as a place of great spiritual significance, where the Hawaiian culture intertwines deeply with the natural world. The mountain hosts numerous observatories, harnessing its elevated position to explore celestial phenomena, underscoring its importance not only in terrestrial geography, but also in the pursuit of knowledge about the universe. Now, let's shift our focus back to Everest and its majestic presence. Climbing Everest is often described not merely as a physical feat, but as a mental exercise demanding resilience, strategy, and teamwork. Sherpas, the indigenous people of the Himalayas, play an invaluable role in these ascents, offering expertise and local knowledge that can significantly influence the outcome of expeditions. Their histories are steeped in connection with the mountain, and their skills are indispensable when traversing the treacherous paths leading to the summit. The rich biodiversity of the Everest region also adds to its allure. As climbers ascend, they pass through diverse climates and ecosystems, from verdant valleys to arid landscapes adorned with snow. Trekkers may encounter yaks, the sturdy creatures that help transport gear along the trails, reminding all of the unique interdependencies that exist in this high-altitude environment. In the shadows of Everest lies an entire ecosystem that thrives despite the extreme conditions. The flora and fauna have adapted uniquely to the harsh climate. The beauty of the landscape, punctuated by colorful prayer flags fluttering in the wind and the lush greenery at lower altitudes, creates an unforgettable tapestry of sights and sounds. Erosion and geological forces have shaped Everest and the surrounding mountains over eons, continually sculpting their majestic form. The sheer scale and power of these natural forces can be both awe-inspiring and intimidating, reflecting the dynamic processes of our planet. While Everest captures the hearts of many with its triumphant stature, the intricate tapestry of mountains like Mauna Kea enriches our understanding of geology and geography in a broader context. From high-peak expeditions to the depths of oceanic wonders, our planet is filled with diverse marvels that invite us to explore and appreciate the world around us. In conclusion, while Everest majestically claims its title as the highest mountain above sea level, the hidden giants like Mauna Kea remind us of the complexities underlying nature. Each mountain tells a story, one that is intricately woven into the fabric of our planet, offering insights that extend far beyond mere measurements. Whether above sea level or beneath the waves, the mountains challenge us to look closer, to explore their depths, and to appreciate the world's natural beauty in all its forms. The sound of knuckle cracking is familiar to many. Whether it's done out of habit, to relieve tension, or just for the amusing sound it produces, you might have wondered about its effects on our health. A common belief that has circulated for years is that habitual knuckle cracking is a leading cause of arthritis. However, recent studies have illuminated this age-old myth, showing that cracking knuckles does not actually lead to arthritis. To understand this, let's dive into what happens inside your joints when you crack your knuckles. The audible pop that many people hear during this act is caused by a process called cavitation. This occurs when the joint is stretched and creates a change in pressure. Gases dissolved in the synovial fluid, which lubricates the joints, form bubbles. When the pressure is just right, these bubbles burst, creating that satisfying sound. This phenomenon is completely harmless and does not indicate any damage to the joint itself. A landmark study published by Dr. Donald Unger, who famously cracked the knuckles of one hand for over 5 decades while leaving the other untouched, provides compelling evidence against the link between knuckle cracking and arthritis. After years of observation, Dr. Unger found no difference in the incidence of arthritis between the two hands, reinforcing the idea that this habitual action does not pose a risk to joint health. His findings were significant and helped challenge the long-standing belief that knuckle cracking might result in degeneration or joint problems. Another aspect to consider is the correlation versus causation principle. While some people who crack their knuckles might also develop arthritis as they age, this does not mean that one causes the other. Arthritis can be influenced by various factors, including genetics, age, and overall joint health. Thus, attributing the development of arthritis solely to knuckle cracking oversimplifies the complexity of this condition. It's important to note that while cracking knuckles is generally harmless, it may cause some discomfort for certain individuals. If someone experiences pain while engaging in this habit, it could be a signal of a different underlying joint issue. It's essential to listen to your body and consult a healthcare professional if there are concerns about joint health. Furthermore, the question arises as to why people crack their knuckles in the first place. Many find it to be a satisfying release of tension. For others, it may be simply a nervous habit or a response to anxiety. Whatever the reason, the majority of people who crack their knuckles report feeling some degree of ease afterward. Interestingly, the social aspect of knuckle cracking may also play a role. It can be a shared experience among friends or colleagues, often eliciting reactions ranging from mild annoyance to humor. This brings a lightheartedness to the topic, transforming a commonly frowned upon habit into a subject of curiosity and discussion. If you are among those who enjoy the sound of crackling joints, you may be reassured by the recent studies. Knuckle cracking appears to be innocuous and does not lead to arthritis or any significant joint issues. It demonstrates the power of debunking myths with scientific studies and personal experience, emphasizing the need for ongoing research and questioning in the realm of health. In conclusion, while the debate over knuckle cracking and arthritis has persisted over time, Evidence suggests that this habit does not lead to long-term joint damage. People can enjoy the relief and satisfaction they get from cracking their knuckles without the worry of causing arthritis. As with many health-related topics, knowledge and understanding are key. So, the next time you hear that familiar pop, remember that it is just a harmless sound, a brief moment of relief, and, most importantly, not a harbinger of arthritis. The journey through health myths continues, inviting us to explore the fascinating relationship between habits, perceptions, and well-being. The story of exploration and discovery is rich with adventures that have shaped our world. One of the most fascinating tales in this narrative is that of the Vikings, particularly the legendary Leif Erikson, who is often celebrated as the first European to set foot on North America, long before the more famous voyages led by Christopher Columbus. This tale begins in the heart of a world dominated by the Norsemen's formidable ships and their daring spirit. Leif Erikson, the son of Eric the Red, was a bold explorer with an insatiable curiosity. Around the year 1000 AD, he embarked on a journey that would lead him across the North Atlantic. The Vikings were known for their incredible shipbuilding skills, creating longships that could navigate both the open ocean and shallow rivers. These ships, built for endurance and speed, were crucial for the daring maritime journeys that characterized the Viking Age. According to the sagas, which are Viking narratives passed down through generations, Erikson set sail from Greenland, where his father had established a settlement. He was inspired by tales of land to the southwest, described by fellow Norsemen who had encountered it during their own voyages. This legendary land was known as Vinland, a place rich with resources and abundant in nature. After a challenging journey across the turbulent seas, Erikson and his crew spotted new shores. They landed on what most historians recognize today as the northeastern coast of North America, likely in areas corresponding with modern-day Newfoundland, Canada. Here, they encountered lush landscapes and an impressive variety of flora and fauna. The Viking narrative describes exploring the coastline, gathering grapes, and establishing a temporary settlement. However, the Viking interaction with the indigenous peoples already inhabiting North America is equally intriguing. The arrival of Erikson and his crew marked an important moment of contact between two vastly different cultures. The Norsemen were accustomed to their harsh Arctic environment, while the indigenous populations had their own rich traditions and ways of life, honed by centuries of living in harmony with the land. Despite some initial friendly exchanges documented in the sagas, tensions arose due to differing values and misunderstandings. The Vikings, keen on riding and exploring new lands, found themselves in conflicts with the local tribes, known for their warrior spirit and self-sufficiency. These encounters hinted at the complexities and challenges of cross-cultural communication and relationships. Though the Vikings hailed from Scandinavia, their discoveries did not result in long-lasting settlements in North America. Factors such as conflicts with indigenous populations, harsh climatic conditions, and the desire to return to their established settlements in Greenland led to their departure. While they mentioned Vinland in their stories faded, overshadowed by the later voyages of Columbus in the late 15th century. Columbus set sail in 1492, eager to find a westward route to Asia. His journeys led to the widespread recognition of the Americas in Europe, changing the course of history. However, it is crucial to acknowledge that long before Columbus's sails ever cut through those waters, diverse indigenous groups had inhabited the continent for thousands of years. Cultures and civilizations thrived, each contributing unique practices, languages, and customs to the tapestry of North America. The tales of Leif Erikson serve as a reminder of the rich history of exploration predating Columbus. While his journeys did not lead to permanent settlements, they represent the spirit of adventure that characterizes human history. The Viking legacy lives on, inspiring generations with stories of daring feats and exploration. Interestingly, these ancient narratives have sparked curiosity and interest in Viking history and their interactions with the New World. Archaeological findings, such as the remains found at Losjog's Meadows in Newfoundland, provide tangible evidence of Viking presence in North America. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a testament to how the Norse explorers not only reached but also temporarily settled in the continent, showcasing their remarkable maritime skills and adventurous spirit. The exploration by the Vikings also opens a window into understanding the complexities of human migration and cultural exchange. Their legacy prompts us to reflect on the interconnectedness of cultures and how they enrich and challenge one another across time and space. As we picture Leif Erikson setting foot on the verdant shores of this new, undiscovered land, we are reminded of the enduring human desire to explore, to connect, and to understand our world. In this rich tapestry of human history, the Vikings stand out as pioneers who harbored dreams of exploration. Their travels to North America remind us of the stories yet to be uncovered and the myriad paths of discovery that have shaped our understanding of the past. The echoes of these adventures resonate today, inspiring modern explorers and storytellers alike to seek out the unknown and celebrate the diverse cultures that inhabit this planet. As we look towards the future, the lessons of the Viking Age serve as an important reminder of the complexity of human history, a history woven together by threads of exploration, interaction, and resilience. The legacy of Leif Erikson enriches our understanding of who we are and where we come from, reminding us that much of our world is interlaced with stories of brave individuals who dared to venture into the unknown. The Viking spirit of adventure continues to inspire awe and curiosity, inviting us all to embark on our own journeys of discovery. Lightning is one of nature's most electrifying phenomena, a stunning display of power and energy that captivates our attention. Common wisdom tells us that lightning never strikes twice, but this is actually a misconception. In reality, lightning can and often does strike the same place more than once, especially when that place is a high structure, such as a tall building or a tree. Take tall structures, for example. They reach high into the sky, making them more susceptible to lightning strikes. A classic example is the Empire State Building in New York City. This iconic skyscraper stands at 1,454 feet tall, which makes it one of the most frequently struck buildings in the United States. On average, it experiences around 20 lightning strikes per year. Its height and metal framework create an ideal pathway for electrical discharges during thunderstorms. You might wonder why this occurs. The answer lies in the science of electricity and the nature of thunderstorms. When storm clouds gather, they build up a significant amount of electrical charge. The positive and negative charges within the cloud create a stark and unstable electrical environment. When the charge difference becomes significant enough, a discharge occurs in the form of lightning, traveling from the cloud to the ground, or between clouds. Tall structures act as natural conductors. They offer a direct route for the electrical discharge to reach the ground efficiently. The effect of this phenomenon is evident not just in urban settings with skyscrapers, but also in nature with tall trees. A giant oak or pine tree, standing alone in a field, can be a prime target for lightning. When a strike occurs, the energy can be so powerful that it can explode the tree, leaving it charred or splintered. In addition to height, other factors can contribute to a location's risk of being struck multiple times. The geology of the area plays a role as well. For instance, if a place has conductive soil or rock types, it can influence the path of the lightning strike. Coastal areas, which tend to have higher frequencies of thunderstorms, also see elevated instances of repeated strikes on certain landmarks. Many people might think once a location has been hit, it would become less likely to be struck again, as if it has already discharged its energy. However, this is not how it works. Each lightning strike is a unique event, and the atmospheric conditions that lead to a strike can occur again, regardless of previous events. In fact, buildings equipped with lightning rods can be designed specifically to attract lightning and direct its powerful energy safely into the ground, thus protecting the structure itself from damage. Lightning safety is an important topic. For individuals, knowing the risk of lightning in their communities can help them stay safe. Simple measures, such as avoiding open fields and taking shelter indoors during thunderstorms, are key practices. But understanding that locations can be struck multiple times can help demystify lightning and encourage a healthy respect for nature's fierce displays. In many cultures, lightning has also carried deep symbolic meanings. It represents unpredictability and raw power, often viewed as a divine lightning bolt that signifies transformation or change. The concept of lightning striking twice has evolved into idiomatic sayings, suggesting that an opportunity of great magnitude may only come around once, but nature tells a different story, one of repeated chances and consistent realities. In conclusion, the idea that lightning never strikes twice is a myth that overlooks the fascinating intricacies of atmospheric phenomena. Understanding the science behind lightning helps us appreciate its beauty and power while reminding us of nature's unpredictability. Tall structures, trees, and other landscapes are all part of this delicate balance, serving as the interaction point between the extraordinary forces of the atmosphere and our everyday lives. As storms roll through and clouds gather, we can marvel at the lightning that dances across the sky, knowing that in some places that dance might happen again and again. So the next time you observe a lightning storm, remember the power of nature and the truths behind the words we often hear. The idea that the majority of body heat is lost through the head is a common myth that has persisted for decades. It suggests that if you want to stay warm, you should focus on keeping your head well covered. While it's true that the head is a source of heat loss, how much heat is lost from the head compared to the rest of the body depends significantly on several factors, including exposure to the cold, clothing, and activity level. To understand this myth, we need to delve into the history behind it. The notion gained popularity from studies conducted many years ago that looked at the heat loss in individuals who were dressed in cold environments. Those studies often involved participants in military gear, where the head, which was often left uncovered, appeared to lose a larger percentage of body heat. However, these findings were influenced by the specific conditions and limitations of the research methods used at the time. In actuality, heat is lost from any part of the body that is exposed to the cold. The amount of heat loss is more about the surface area exposed and the insulation provided by clothing. For instance, if you are dressed warmly but have your hands and feet exposed, you may lose just as much heat or even more from those areas compared to your head. The feet and hands are rich in blood vessels close to the skin, and they can easily become cool and start to draw heat away from the core of the body when not properly insulated. In cold weather, the body prioritizes core temperature regulation. It does this by redirecting blood flow away from the extremities and surface areas and focusing on maintaining temperature in vital organs. The body has a remarkable ability to adapt, constricting blood vessels near the skin to conserve warmth. As a result, areas of the body with less insulation will feel colder more quickly, contributing to the perception of heat loss. Additionally, when considering attire in cold environments, it is vital to think holistically. Wearing a hat or a warm hat can indeed help keep you warm, but it's equally important to dress the rest of the body appropriately. Layers are key in cold weather, allowing for trapped air pockets that serve as insulation, reducing the overall heat loss from all parts of the body. Furthermore, the effects of wind and moisture must not be overlooked. For example, wet clothing dramatically increases heat loss, regardless of the area of the body that is wet. Wind chill can also have a profound effect, as moving air increases the rate of heat loss from the skin, causing more discomfort and potential for chill. This is why protective clothing against wind and moisture is equally, if not more, crucial than merely covering the head. Consider a runner braving the winter elements. Their exposed skin, including the face and neck, can feel much colder due to wind and moisture in the air. They may wear a hat, but if they are not properly layered otherwise, they can still lose significant heat from their torso and limbs, while still remaining warm around the head. Additionally, individuals may have different levels of heat conservation capability due to personal differences in physiology. Factors such as body composition and metabolism can play a vital role in how one maintains warmth. A person with higher muscle mass, for example, may heat their body more effectively than someone with a higher percentage of body fat. Most importantly, those engaged in physical activity will generate additional body heat through movement. As they exert themselves, they may need to manage their clothing accordingly to avoid overheating. In this dynamic, their head may contribute to heat dissipation, but to a lesser extent than anticipated compared to the overall body. In conclusion, while it is important to keep the head warm, particularly in colder conditions, attention must also be given to the entire body. Layers, appropriate insulation, and protection against the elements all play crucial roles in preventing excessive heat loss. Understanding the true mechanics of heat loss helps to debunk myths and engage with our environment intelligently. By adopting a comprehensive approach to warmth and layering, not only are we likely to feel more comfortable, but we also maintain better overall control of our body temperature in variable conditions. Imagine stepping into a world that is both familiar and strange. It's a world where colors dance and play, but not quite in the way you might expect. When we think about how our beloved canine companions perceive their surroundings, it's often said they see in black and white. This idea, while common, isn't entirely accurate. In reality, dogs do perceive colors, albeit in a more muted way compared to humans. The canine visual system is built differently than ours. Human eyes contain 3 types of color receptors, known as cones, which allow us to detect a broad spectrum of colors, including reds, greens, and blues. Dogs, on the other hand, have just 2 types of cone. This means their color perception is somewhat akin to what a person with red-green color blindness experiences. The range of hues they can appreciate is narrower, but that doesn't mean their world is devoid of color. Dogs primarily perceive shades of blue and yellow. Imagine a beautiful field strewn with flowers of various colors. While you might see vibrant reds, pinks, and greens, your dog might only recognize the sunny yellows and cool blues, turning that colorful patch into a scene dominated by tones in those shades. The bright reds of a fire truck might look dull and gray, while the yellow of a tennis ball could shine brilliantly in their vision. Beyond color, dogs excel in other areas of vision. They possess superior motion detection compared to humans. While we may spot a ball rolling on the ground, dogs can identify fast-moving objects from further away, thanks to a greater number of motion-sensitive cells in their eyes. This ability is an evolutionary advantage, linking back to their ancestral hunting instincts, enabling them to track and locate fast-moving prey in the wild. Another fascinating aspect of canine vision is their night vision. The structure of a dog's eyes features a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum. This layer enhances their ability to see in low-light conditions by reflecting light that passes through the retina back into their eyes, giving them a better chance of spotting movement when the sun sets. If you've ever noticed your dog's eyes shining in the dark, that bright reflection is a telltale sign of their remarkable night vision. In terms of distance, dogs can focus well on close objects, but as things recede, their ability to perceive detail diminishes more quickly than ours. A familiar park, for instance, may seem vibrant and full of life up close. But as your canine friend gets further away, the landscape may blur into a less recognizable canvas of shapes and colors. It is important to remember that dogs rely heavily on other senses beyond sight. Their sense of smell is exceptionally developed, allowing them to perceive the world largely through sense. While we might see an array of colors, dogs may sniff out the unique aroma of each flower in the field, identifying layers of sense that tell them more about their environment than merely relying on visual cues. This multisensory experience shapes the dog's understanding of the world. Their navigation is a blend of what they see and what they smell, allowing them to create a rich tapestry of scents and sights that informs their journey through life. For a dog, a walk in the park is less about the vibrant colors of the trees or the brilliant patterns on a butterfly. Instead, it is an adventure filled with a bouquet of smells, sounds, and textures, each contributing to their perception of the world. To create a fulfilling environment for your dog, consider that while they may not experience the richness of colors in the way you do, they can still have a vibrant and stimulating life. Toys and objects in shades of blue and yellow are likely to capture their attention better than other colors. Using these hues can enhance playtime experiences and strengthen the bond you share. As we ponder the way dogs perceive their world, it emerges as a blend of fascinating adaptations and limitations. Their ability to see certain colors, detect motion, and navigate through scent presents a contrasting picture to our own perception. In understanding their unique vision, we not only gain insight into their experiences, but also learn to appreciate the world from a different perspective, one that values every shade, scent, and sound. So, while dogs might not bask in the full rainbow of colors that humans enjoy, their view of the world is nonetheless enriched by the interplay of the colors they can see, the scents they can smell, and the companionship they share with us. Each walk, play session, and moment together can be an invitation to explore and discover the world in new and wonderful ways, guided by their unique perceptions. The idea that shaving makes hair grow back thicker is one of those long-standing myths that has circulated for many years. It's a belief that many people accept as a hard truth, yet the reality is quite different. To delve into the science behind hair growth and shaving, it's essential to understand how hair develops and what actually happens when you shave. First, let's explore what hair is made of. Hair is primarily composed of a protein called keratin. Each hair strand grows from a follicle embedded in the skin, and this follicle is responsible for the hair's characteristics, including its thickness, color, and growth rate. When hair is shaved, it is cut at the surface level, and this does not alter the structure of the follicle beneath the skin's surface. Therefore, the fundamental characteristics of hair remain unchanged. Now, consider what happens when you shave hair. The razor cuts the hair at its thickest point, leaving the end of the hair blunt. This blunt edge can give the illusion of thickness when the hair begins to grow back. Instead of the natural tapering that occurs as hair grows out, a freshly shaven strand appears thicker and coarser. This is often why people feel that their hair is growing back thicker after shaving. It's not that the hair itself has transformed in its composition, but rather how it presents itself as it grows back in. Interestingly, the density of hair does not increase with shaving either. Hair growth is determined mostly by genetics and hormonal factors. Everyone has a unique genetic makeup that dictates how many hair follicles they have and the size of those follicles. Therefore, regardless of how frequently someone shaves, their genetic predispositions will remain unchanged, leading to identical hair density over time. Moreover, the notion that shaving affects color is also a misconception. Hair color is determined by the amount and type of melanin present in the hair. This, too, is embedded in the follicles and is unaffected by shaving. When individuals notice that their hair appears darker or has a different hue after shaving, it may be due simply to the contrast of the shorter hair against their skin. The visual effect can make it seem like the hair has become darker, but the actual pigmentation remains constant. Another factor to consider is the rate of hair growth. The rate at which hair grows is influenced by several conditions including genetics, diet, and overall health. While shaving does leave hair with a blunt tip, it does not accelerate the rate at which hair grows. Interestingly, it's a common belief that hair grows faster in areas where it has been shaved or trimmed, but this fallacy can often be attributed to how the hair appears when it begins to regrow. Let's take a moment to reflect on personal grooming habits. For individuals who regularly shave their heads, legs, or faces, the experience can often be described as freeing or even rejuvenating. The ritual of shaving can have benefits beyond aesthetic appearances. It provides a moment of mindfulness where one might engage in self-care, feel rejuvenated, or experience a temporary feeling of confidence. The smooth texture after shaving might give individuals a sense of cleanliness or refreshment, which often goes beyond mere appearance. Moreover, shaving has different cultural connotations and practices around the world. In some cultures, shaving carries spiritual significance, while in others, it is a cosmetic routine embraced for beauty standards. This global perspective showcases how shaving is viewed not only as a personal grooming task, but as an activity intertwined with identity, culture, and tradition. So, whether it's the act of shaving one's legs for summer, or the ritual of a fresh-faced shave in the morning, it's evident that this common practice holds a variety of meanings beyond its basic premise. Understanding the science behind hair growth, along with the personal and cultural significance of shaving, helps to untangle myths from facts. In summary, while the sensation of freshly shaved hair may lead to the illusion of thickness or change in texture, the science clarifies that such perceptions are merely that, perceptions. Hair continues to grow according to its inherent characteristics, which remain unaffected by the razor. Embracing this understanding allows individuals to appreciate grooming as a multifaceted practice, rich with personal significance, rather than solely a means of altering one's appearance. There's much more to grooming than just aesthetics. It's about personal choice, culture, and self-expression. When someone goes missing, it can be a distressing and overwhelming experience for family and friends. Many may have heard that a person must wait 24 hours before reporting someone is missing. However, it is important to understand that this is a common misconception. In reality, law enforcement agencies can be alerted immediately when someone is suspected to be missing. The instinct to act quickly is crucial in these situations. Every moment counts, and the sooner authorities are notified, the better the chances are for a safe resolution. When someone disappears, especially if that person is a child or vulnerable adult, delays can significantly impact the outcome of the situation. Therefore, it is always best to reach out to the police as soon as you believe something is wrong. When contacting the authorities, it's essential to provide as much information as possible. Description details such as the missing person's name, age, physical appearance, and clothing they were last seen wearing are vital. Any specific circumstances leading up to their disappearance can also be incredibly important. This information helps law enforcement create a clear picture of the situation, enabling them to act swiftly. Moreover, time is an essential factor in search and rescue operations. Statistics indicate that the likelihood of locating a missing person diminishes over time. Initiating the search immediately gives authorities and search teams the best chance of finding them quickly. Many police departments utilize various resources, including community awareness, social media, outreach, and partnerships with local organizations to effectively disseminate information about a missing person. It is also important to involve friends, family, and community members in the search. They can help spread the word, share information online, and look in familiar areas where the missing person is likely to be. Utilizing social media platforms can enhance the search efforts exponentially. A simple post with a description and a photo of the missing individual can reach hundreds, even thousands, of people in a matter of minutes. In addition to immediate alerts to the police, communities can establish support networks that provide resources and guidance for families in distress. These networks can help families navigate the emotional turmoil of a loved one being missing, offering comfort and assistance during a challenging time. In some cases, the circumstances of a disappearance may seem perplexing. Friends or family members may notice unusual behavior before the disappearance. Having a conversation about these concerns, even if it feels uncomfortable, can be vital. Opening lines of communication can sometimes lead to answers or resolutions that might not be otherwise apparent. It is also noteworthy that some missing person cases may unfold in unexpected ways. People can go missing for various reasons, including personal struggles or crises. Creating a supportive environment where individuals feel safe to discuss their feelings can sometimes prevent these situations from arising. By fostering open dialogue within families and communities, the understanding of mental health issues can be addressed, leading to proactive measures being taken before a person goes missing. Law enforcement agencies often educate the public about the importance of being aware of their surroundings. Personal safety precautions, such as communicating travel plans, staying in touch with friends and family, and using technology to share real-time locations, can contribute to a higher level of safety overall. Additionally, familiarizing oneself with local resources available to assist in missing person cases can be beneficial. Various organizations dedicated to this cause exist and can provide support ranging from legal advice to emotional counseling. These organizations often work closely with law enforcement, maximizing the effectiveness of search efforts. Understanding the urgency involved in reports of missing persons and the available resources can empower individuals and communities. By spreading awareness about these crucial aspects, we can better prepare ourselves to respond effectively when faced with such situation. It is essential to always approach the issue seriously and take immediate action when someone is suspected to be missing. In conclusion, The key takeaway is the importance of immediate action concerning missing persons. The belief that you must wait 24 hours before contacting authorities is inaccurate. If you ever find yourself in a situation where someone close to you can't be found, remember that timely communication with law enforcement can enhance the chances of a positive outcome. Fostering a supportive community, staying vigilant, and remaining compassionate towards one another builds a safer environment for everyone. Let's prioritize awareness and action, ensuring that no one is left searching alone. Goldfish are fascinating creatures that have captivated the hearts of many aquarists and casual pet owners alike. They are known for their vivid colors, graceful movements, and intriguing behavior. One of the most common misconceptions about these aquatic pets is that their growth is solely dependent on the size of the tank they inhabit. While it is true that the environment plays a role in their well-being, there is much more to the story of how a goldfish grows. To start, it is essential to understand that goldfish are not just simple pets. They are living beings with unique genetic backgrounds. Just like any other animal, genetics play a crucial role in determining their ultimate size. Different breeds of goldfish exhibit distinct growth patterns. For instance, a common goldfish can grow to be much larger than a fancy goldfish, regardless of the size of its tank. Therefore, when considering how big your goldfish might get, it's important to consider not only the environment, but also the type of goldfish you have chosen. Care is another significant factor that influences the growth of goldfish. Providing them with the right diet is essential for their development. Goldfish thrive on a diet rich in quality fish food that is specifically designed for them. This food is packed with the essential nutrients needed for healthy growth. It often includes balanced proteins, vitamins, and minerals that are crucial for their overall health. Just like how humans need a balanced diet to grow strong and healthy, goldfish require the same attention to their nutritional needs. In addition to nutrition, water quality is vital for the optimal growth of goldfish. Goldfish produce a considerable amount of waste, which can lead to the accumulation of harmful toxins if not properly managed. Regular tank maintenance, including water changes and proper filtration, is necessary to create a stable and clean environment. When the water is clear and properly oxygenated, goldfish are more likely to thrive and reach their full potential size. Adequate filtration ensures that harmful substances are removed, allowing the goldfish to flourish in their aquatic home. Another aspect to consider is social interaction. Goldfish are known to be social creatures, and their behavior can be influenced by the presence of other fish. When kept in a community tank, goldfish often exhibit more vibrant colors and exhibit schooling behavior, which can stimulate growth. However, it is crucial to ensure that these interactions do not lead to stress or aggression. Overcrowding can have adverse effects, so it is essential to strike a balance when deciding how many fish to include in a tank. One interesting aspect of goldfish behavior is their ability to adapt to their surroundings. If a goldfish is kept in a smaller tank, it may not necessarily stop growing altogether, but it may be stunted in growth due to the limitations of its environment. This stunted growth is not an ideal situation for the well-being and longevity of the fish. Providing a spacious environment allows them the freedom to swim and explore, promoting healthy growth patterns and a more fulfilling life. While it is tempting to think that simply placing a goldfish in a larger tank will lead to an increase in size, the reality is much more complex. The combined factors of genetics, care, and environmental conditions all contribute to how a goldfish will develop over time. A properly maintained tank, combined with a nutritious diet and a healthy social environment, encourages goldfish to reach their full potential. In conclusion, The popular belief that goldfish will only grow to the size of their tank is an oversimplification of their growth dynamics. It overlooks the critical roles played by genetics and care. By providing a healthy and balanced environment, owners can create the best possible conditions for their goldfish to thrive. These captivating creatures have much more to offer than just their appearance. With the right care and understanding, goldfish can grow to be beautiful and dynamic additions to any aquatic setting, displaying their stunning colors and enchanting personalities. Each goldfish is unique, and understanding their needs can lead to a more rewarding experience for both the fish and the owner. Many of us have grown up hearing the myth that touching toads can lead to the development of warts. This belief has prevailed across generations and has been a staple in folklore and children's stories. To many, the sight of a toad instantly conjures up images of bumpy skin where warts seemingly flourish. However, the truth behind this idea is more fascinating than the myth itself. First, let's explore the origin of warts. Warts are benign growths on the skin caused by human papillomavirus, or HPV. This virus thrives in human skin cells and is responsible for the distinct appearance of warts, which can vary in location and type. They often show up on fingers, knees, elbows, and other areas of the body. The thought of warts appearing after touching a toad is misleading because the type of viruses that cause warts in humans do not originate from toads at all. Toads, while interesting creatures, are merely victims of this misconception. These amphibians have warty skin, but their warts are not caused by the same viruses that affect humans. Toads possess a unique skin texture that serves various purposes. For one, it helps them in the wild. The bumps and roughness can provide camouflage and protect them from potential predators, making them less likely to be eaten. Now, if touching toads does not cause warts, what about the idea of touching them being hazardous? It is true that toads can secrete toxins as a defense mechanism. Some species of toads, like the infamous cane toad, produce secretions that can be harmful if ingested or if they come into contact with mucous membranes. Therefore, while there is no danger of developing warts, it's prudent to handle these creatures carefully and wash your hands after any contact. Delving deeper into the world of warts, research has shown that they are both highly contagious and not. You can catch a wart from someone else through direct contact, generally through broken or damaged skin. The virus is not airborne, which means it does not spread like a cold. This lends credence to the idea that simply touching an animal like a toad would not be enough to transmit the virus responsible for warts. Interestingly, the fact that warts can be resistant to treatment makes them a topic of fascination for dermatologists. Many over-the-counter options exist for their removal, ranging from topical treatments to freezing methods. For some, warts may disappear on their own, since the immune system can effectively fight off the virus causing them. In contrast, toads often serve as valuable indicators of environmental health. For example, they play critical roles in ecosystems by controlling insect populations. During warm evenings, the chorus of croaking toads reminds us of their importance to the natural world. They help maintain the balance in the environment, ensuring that pest populations remain in check and biodiversity is upheld. Cultural views on toads often depict them as mystical or magical creatures, possibly contributing to the myth surrounding them. Many cultures have tales of enchanted toads, sometimes portrayed as transformation agents that serve as a bridge between the mundane and the magical. This inventive storytelling can be traced back to ancient civilizations, where these creatures appeared in folklore, reflecting our fascination and fear of the unknown. By appreciating toads for their ecological contributions and unique characteristics, we can shift our perspective from fearful avoidance to respect and curiosity. Observing toads in their natural habitats can spark a greater understanding of the interconnectedness of life. Their presence in a garden often indicates a healthy environment, rich in biodiversity. Science allows us to peel back the layers of myth, revealing the complexities of nature and the organisms within it. Toads thrive in various environments, from lush wetlands to arid landscapes, showing their adaptability. Most importantly, they share our planet without causing harm or inconvenience to humans when left undisturbed. So, while the myth of touching toads causing warts is firmly rooted in imagination rather than fact, it serves as an excellent reminder of how stories and beliefs shape our interactions with the natural world. Instead of fearing these fascinating amphibians, we should strive to learn more about them and the vital roles they play in our ecosystem. Ultimately, understanding the science behind warts, toads, and the world around them leads to a greater appreciation for the forces of nature. Embracing accurate knowledge empowers us to foster a deeper connection with our environment, breaking down barriers formed by myths and misconceptions. The next time you come across a toad, take a moment to admire its unique texture and the role it plays in your local ecosystem. In doing so, you contribute to a richer understanding of the world beyond the realms of folklore and misinformation. Bananas are one of the most popular fruits in the world, but there is a common misconception about how they grow. Many people believe that bananas grow on trees, but this is not entirely accurate. In fact, bananas grow on large herbaceous plants that can reach impressive heights, often leading to this misunderstanding. The banana plant is a fascinating example of nature's diversity. It belongs to the genus Musa and can grow up to 30 feet tall, with some varieties reaching even higher. The plant has a stout pseudostem made of tightly packed leaf bases, which gives it a tree-like appearance. However, unlike trees, this pseudostem is not woody. Instead, it is made up of soft, succulent plant tissue, which results in a structure that can bend and sway in the wind, making it distinct from traditional trees. As the banana plant matures, it produces a spectacular flower stalk known as an inflorescence, which emerges from the heart of the plant. This stalk can be quite elongated, and it carries numerous individual flowers. Each of these flowers has the potential to develop into a banana. It's remarkable to consider that a single banana plant can produce clusters of bananas, known as hands, which can contain multiple individual bananas. The growth process is quite intricate. After flowering, the bananas begin to swell, taking shape as they develop. They start out green and gradually change their color as they ripen. The ripening process is influenced by various factors, including temperature, humidity, and even the presence of ethylene gas, which is emitted by the fruit itself. When bananas ripen, they become sweeter and softer, making them enjoyable to eat fresh, added to smoothies, or used in baking. Bananas thrive in tropical and subtropical climates, requiring warm temperatures and plenty of sunlight to grow effectively. They prefer well-drained soil that is rich in organic matter. Farmers often cultivate bananas in large plantations, with careful attention paid to irrigation and pest management to ensure healthy fruit production. The lush, expansive landscapes of banana farms provide not only a source of food, but also a habitat for various wildlife, demonstrating the interconnectedness of agriculture and the environment. Besides their delightful taste and versatility in culinary uses, bananas are nutrition powerhouses. They are rich in potassium, which is essential for maintaining healthy blood pressure levels and proper muscle function. Additionally, they provide dietary fiber, vitamin C, and vitamin B6, contributing to overall health. Eating bananas can provide a quick source of energy, making them a favorite snack among athletes and active individuals. They are often touted as nature's energy bar, making them a convenient option for those on the go. Bananas also have cultural significance in many societies. In some regions, they are not just a food source, but also play a role in rituals, festivals, and celebrations. In Southeast Asia, for instance, bananas are commonly used in traditional dishes and desserts, showcasing their versatility in local cuisines. In some cultures, bananas symbolize fertility and prosperity, further highlighting their importance beyond mere nutrition. The cultivation of bananas has a rich history that dates back thousands of years. They are believed to have originated in Southeast Asia, and over the centuries, they have spread to different parts of the world, becoming a staple food in many countries. Today, bananas are one of the most widely consumed fruits globally, with a significant presence in international trade. Countries like India, China, and Indonesia are among the largest producers, while the fruit is exported to various regions, making it accessible to people everywhere. Despite their popularity, banana farming faces various challenges. Issues such as climate change, pests, and diseases like the Panama disease threaten banana crops around the world. Farmers are constantly finding new ways to address these challenges, implementing sustainable practices and developing disease-resistant varieties to ensure a stable supply of bananas for future generations. In recent years, there has also been a growing interest in appreciating the banana plant beyond its fruit. Many people have started to cultivate banana plants in their gardens or backyards, intrigued by their towering height and lush foliage. With their striking appearance, they make excellent ornamental plants, adding a tropical touch to any landscape. So, as you savor a banana, whether enjoying it on its own, adding it to a breakfast bowl, or baking it into delicious treats, remember the rich journey this fruit takes from a large herbaceous plant to your kitchen. The next time you see a banana, take a moment to appreciate the remarkable growth process that brings this beloved fruit into your life, and the many ways it has become a part of cultures around the world. Let the thought of its origins and the stories behind its cultivation enhance your experience, making your next bite even more enjoyable. Many people believe that when a baby bird is touched by a human, the mother will reject it due to the scent. However, this concern is largely a myth. Birds, in fact, rely much more on their visual and auditory senses than on their sense of smell. In reality, most birds possess a poor sense of smell. This means that if a human comes into contact with a baby bird, it is unlikely that the mother will even be aware of this interaction, based solely on scent. Birds have evolved to have a strong instinct to care for their young, which is a crucial aspect of their survival. For many species, the bond between the mother and her chicks is fostered through vocalizations and physical presence rather than the scent. For example, many songbirds establish intricate calls and songs that help the chicks identify them. This bond helps ensure that the young are fed and protected, even in a busy and often dangerous environment. In various cases, a mother bird might leave her nest for a short period, especially when foraging for food. During this time, it is common for people to find a nest with seemingly abandoned chicks. Nestlings have very specific needs, and the parent bird frequently comes back to provide nourishment. Watching the mother return to the nest and feed the chicks is a fascinating experience that showcases the wonders of nature. In some instances, human interaction does pose risks, but it often revolves around habitat disruption rather than mere contact. For example, if a nest is tampered with or removed, that can cause a mother bird to abandon the area. Disturbances might push her to seek a safer location, thus impacting her ability to care for her young. This is particularly evident when nests are placed in high-traffic areas, or when environmental changes eliminate important resources, such as food or shelter. An interesting aspect of bird behavior is how they often use visual cues to locate their young. Some species exhibit remarkable abilities to recognize the distinctive markings or colors of their chicks, allowing them to pinpoint their location in a crowded nest. This ability to differentiate between their chicks and others highlights the importance of visual stimuli in their nurturing behavior. In addition, many bird species also work together in colonies where the responsibility of caring for young is shared among multiple adults. In these social structures, multiple parents may assist in feeding and protecting the young, further emphasizing the group effort involved in raising offspring. This community approach fosters stronger survival rates among the chicks since several adults can react to threats or provide resources. The myth surrounding human scent brings to light an important aspect of wildlife ethics. Many individuals, out of genuine concern for a baby bird seen alone, may feel compelled to intervene, possibly to a detrimental effect. Instead, observing birds from a distance allows for a more natural interaction, minimizing stress for both the birds and the humans involved. It is intriguing to think of the myriad of ways nature finds to protect its young. Furthermore, it's important to note that some species are more prone to abandon their young due to environmental stressors, such as predation or habitat loss, rather than anything associated with human contact. Nature is inherently unpredictable, and various factors influence the behaviors of birds in the wild. Each season brings new challenges and presents a different set of circumstances for birds raising their chicks. As the story of birds and their nurturing behaviors unfolds, it also invites us to appreciate the complexities of wildlife and the natural world. Every bird species has its own unique practices when it comes to upbringing, from the phenomenal migrations some undertake to the intricate nesting sites they create. Observing these practices can deepen our understanding of avian life and the natural ecosystems that sustain them. Scientific studies have contributed to this understanding by revealing how birds communicate through a variety of sounds and movements. Each chirp or call can signify different aspects of parental care. It becomes a language of its own, revealing stories of love and dedication through the act of nurturing. The interface between birds and humans serves as a reminder of the delicate balance of nature. This awareness fosters a sense of responsibility among individuals to respect wildlife habitats and educate others about the truths of animal behavior. It opens the door to discovering how we can coexist with the animal kingdom with a deeper understanding and appreciation. Wildlife enthusiasts and observers often find joy in watching fledglings learn to take their first flights or practice their singing. These moments encapsulate not just the journey of a bird's life, but also evoke reflections on growth and exploration. Each moment serves as a tribute to the intricate web of life that surrounds us and the timeless cycles of nature. In essence, understanding that a mother's instinct to care for her young is far stronger than any myth concerning human contact allows us to nurture our own curiosity and observe these wonders without interference. This rich tapestry of life reminds us to engage with and honor the natural world, ensuring future generations can continue to marvel at these remarkable stories in the skies above. There is a common myth that many people believe: if you swallow gum, it will remain in your stomach for 7 years. This idea has been handed down through generations, often shared among children as a cautionary tale. It evokes vivid images of gum stuck in the belly, with the thought of its sticky texture clinging to the insides for years on end. However, the reality is quite different and far less dramatic. Let's start with the basics of how our digestion works. When you consume food, your body begins an intricate process that breaks down what you eat. The journey starts in the mouth, where chewing and saliva begin to break down the food. After swallowing, it travels down the esophagus and enters the stomach. Here, powerful acids and enzymes continue the digestive process, breaking food down into smaller particles. So when gum is swallowed, it doesn't magically defy the laws of biology. In fact, most of the components in gum are indeed digestible. Gum is made primarily of a gum base, sweeteners, flavorings, and softeners. The gum base is the chewy part, which is not easily broken down, but it doesn't stay in the body for an extended period. Instead, it moves along the digestive tract just like any other food or non-food item. The truth is that swallowed gum typically ends up passing through the digestive system in just a few days. Your body works tirelessly to push substances through the intestines. The gastrointestinal tract is a well-oiled machine, moving things along with astonishing efficiency. The typical time frame for food to navigate through the human digestive system is about 24 to 72 hours, depending on various factors including what you've eaten and your individual metabolism. While gum does contain ingredients that are not digested, they do not linger in your system for years. Instead, the body continues to function as it would with any other edible item. The gum base itself will eventually exit in a normal bowel movement. This means that swallowing a piece of gum is not a cause for alarm or concern, but rather a routine occurrence that the body handles seamlessly. Now, consider the implications of this myth. Legends often grow from a kernel of truth, and in this case, it may be about the relationship between gum and digestion. Perhaps the texture or flavor of gum led some to perceive it as something that sticks around. Moreover, it could also be a way for parents to teach children about the consequences of swallowing things that were not meant to be eaten. However, the myth can create unnecessary anxiety. Many children may be overcome with fear after swallowing gum, worrying about significant health issues or prolonged discomfort. The conversation about gum swallowing often highlights the importance of not making it a habitual practice, especially since gum contains sugar and other additives that might not be beneficial for teeth and overall digestive health. Let's also touch upon what happens if someone swallows more than just a piece of gum. In rare cases, people who frequently swallow large amounts of gum may face some challenges. These challenges can include potential blockages in the digestive tract, especially in children whose digestive systems are smaller. Cases like these are infrequent and usually result from swallowing excessive amounts of gum rather than just the occasional mishap. Interestingly, the story of swallowed gum has traveled far beyond individual anecdotes. It has made its way into pop culture, influencing children's books and cartoons, where characters may often find themselves in sticky situations because of gum. As whimsical as these stories may be, they continue to fortify the myth, just as folklore can shape societal beliefs. In addition, the belief about gum can have educational merits. It encourages discussions around proper eating habits and helps children understand the body's functioning. They learn to be mindful about what they consume, especially when it comes to foods that might not be meant for swallowing whole. In conclusion, the notion that swallowed gum remains in the body for 7 years is more myth than fact. Gum, like many other substances, is processed and expelled by the body in a matter of days. While it can be a fun topic to discuss or even a humorous tale to share, it's essential to keep the facts clear. Understanding how our digestive system works can dispel fears and lead to healthier practices. So next time you hear a child fretting over a piece of gum swallowed by accident, you can calmly reassure them that their body is capable of taking care of things efficiently and effectively. The journey to earning a black belt is a remarkable story of dedication, perseverance, and growth. Many view a black belt as a pinnacle, a symbol of skill within martial arts. It hangs proudly, representing countless hours of training and a commitment to the art. However, it is important to understand that a black belt signifies dedication rather than complete mastery. It marks a transition, not an endpoint. Imagine a person who dedicates years to learning the intricate forms, techniques, and philosophies associated with their chosen martial art. They spend hours perfecting their stances, learning to control their movements, and developing a strong sense of discipline. Each punch and kick becomes a part of their identity, forming a connection between mind and body. The physical exertion strengthens not only their muscles, but also their resolve. When practitioners achieve their black belt, they are often filled with a sense of tremendous pride. This achievement brings a deep understanding of the fundamental principles of martial arts. But beyond that, there lies an essential truth. This is just the beginning of a far greater journey. The black belt serves as a key, unlocking the door to deeper learning and further challenges. Mastery is a lifelong pursuit that extends far beyond the confines of a belt rank. Consider a musician who reaches a high level of proficiency on their instrument. They may perform beautifully, but they know that there is always more to learn. New techniques, styles, and interpretation. Each practice session unveils new possibilities, and every performance brings about a fresh perspective. The path of mastery involves continuous exploration and learning, much like the journey of a martial artist with their black belt. As practitioners continue their journey beyond the black belt, they encounter new complexity in techniques and deeper philosophical meanings behind their practice. They begin to appreciate the nuances of their training, recognizing that fighting is not purely about brute force, but about strategy, timing, and respect for others. The relationships built with coaches and fellow practitioners deepen as they share insights and experiences, enriching the learning process. This journey also involves teaching others. In sharing knowledge, they find themselves learning anew. Teaching a beginner can reveal gaps in one's own understanding. As they articulate techniques, they clarify their own thoughts and refine their skills. It's a cycle of growth. The more they give, the more they receive. The role of a teacher fosters not only personal development, but also creates a community that values shared lessons and mutual respect. Throughout this process, challenges will inevitably arise. Each setback, whether it be a difficult sparring session or the need to revisit the basics, becomes a stepping stone towards greater understanding and skill. Embracing these challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles creates resilience. It is in overcoming difficulties that practitioners truly understand the depth of their commitment. Moreover, the philosophical aspects of martial arts come into play. This exploration often leads to self-discovery, influencing aspects of everyday life. Principles such as respect, humility, and focus begin to infiltrate their interactions outside the dojo. Goals set in martial arts practice can translate into personal aspirations, fostering a broader sense of discipline that impacts relationships and career pursuits. As years roll on, even black belts find themselves realizing that the journey is not about achieving perfection. Instead, it centers around consistency and the willingness to acknowledge that there is always room for improvement. The wisdom of the martial arts masters, who may have decades of experience, serves as a guide. They remind practitioners that mastery is less about the belt and more about the journey and exploration of both the physical and the mental. To further illustrate, think of how athletes in various sports commit themselves to continuous training. A seasoned marathon runner knows that each race is an opportunity to push their limits, but it requires ongoing effort. Similarly, black belts understand that their skills are cultivated through consistent practice, analysis, and engagement with the art. Community plays a significant role in this journey as well. The dojo becomes a second home, a place where individuals of different backgrounds gather to train and grow together. This collaboration fosters camaraderie, allowing practitioners to explore the art in a supportive environment. Sharing experiences, victories, and challenges enriches their understanding of the martial arts and of themselves. In the end, while the black belt is a significant achievement, it serves as both recognition and invitation. It acknowledges dedication, but it also opens the door to endless opportunities for learning. Mastery is a lifelong journey filled with curiosity, exploration, and a profound connection to the art. So as you reflect on what a black belt means, let it symbolize not just the end of a chapter, but the exciting beginning of a lifelong adventure. Embrace the path ahead with open arms, knowing that each step taken will lead to new discoveries and deeper insights, both within the dojo and beyond. Each moment spent refining skills and nurturing the heart of the martial arts practice contributes to a lifetime filled with growth, wisdom, and mastery. Imagine walking through a lush, vibrant landscape, teeming with life and color. In the tall ferns, you might spot a small, feathery creature flitting about, while off in the distance, the ground shakes with the thunderous steps of a gigantic beast. This scene feels like something from a fantastical movie, but the reality is, humans and dinosaurs never shared the same moment in time. Dinosaurs roamed the Earth for about 165 million years, while the first anatomically modern humans appeared only around 200,000 to 300,000 years ago. However, let us take a moment to explore what it could have been like if humans had indeed shared the planet with dinosaurs. Picture a bustling village where early humans have crafted tools from stones and bones, trying to navigate a world inhabited by enormous creatures. Imagine the sense of awe and fear they would have felt while encountering a towering brachiosaurus, stretching its neck to reach the treetops. Would they have stood beneath its massive form, perhaps trying to make sense of the colossal shadow it cast? Consider the creativity and adaptation of ancient humans. Resourceful enough to hunt smaller dinosaurs like the speedy velociraptor, they may have developed clever strategies to avoid the more massive predators, such as the fearsome Tyrannosaurus rex. They would have needed to be observant, learning the behaviors of these great reptiles, recognizing when it was safe to forage for roots and berries, and knowing when to retreat or hide. In a world where humans and dinosaurs coexisted, storytelling would take on a new dimension. Around the flickering fires at night, tales could be spun about the mighty creatures that wandered through their landscape. Perhaps stories of an encounter with a stegosaurus, so large it seemed to touch the sky, would fill the air with wonder and intrigue. The exchange of fear and admiration would create a narrative that shaped their culture and beliefs. As humans began to develop agriculture, the challenges they faced would shift. Envision how they would cultivate crops, while being mindful of the herbivorous dinosaurs that might wander into their fields. A precarious balance would exist, where crops might be planted in ways to avoid attracting these gentle giants. Would early farming techniques evolve, learning to plant in higher areas to escape the reach of the long-necked dinosaur? Now, think about the impact of such enormous creatures on early human art. The cave paintings of that era could have depicted these remarkable animals. Imagine children stirring with excitement as they helped their elders create images of dinosaurs on the walls of their shelters, their imaginations guided by the grandeur of the behemoths they observed. Life would undoubtedly test the limits of human endurance. Imagine the sound of a stampede as a herd of triceratops thundered past a human settlement, sending vibrations through the ground. The urgent rush to safety, or the thrill of witnessing such an extraordinary sight, could inspire stories passed down through generations, becoming part of folklore. Given the complexity of ecosystems, interactions would extend beyond mere survival. Humans would learn to coexist with the wildlife of their time. Picture an elder advising young ones, sharing knowledge about respecting these creatures, understanding which habitats to avoid, and how to live sustainably alongside them. This wisdom could foster a sense of harmony with nature. Creativity and invention would bloom too. Tools and weapons might evolve in fascinating ways, inspired by the creatures around them. Would they fashion their tools from the bones of dinosaurs, utilizing every part of the creature in a respectful manner? The cultural significance of these interactions would deepen, creating a dialogue between man and beast that could resonate through ages. The legends of these creatures could become enshrined in human philosophy, sparking deep contemplation about life, existence, and the natural world. Could they have formed a spiritual connection with the mighty beings that roamed their planet? The mysteries of life would expand as humans sought to understand their place within such an extraordinary tapestry of existence. These imagined vistas provide a humbling reminder of the grand forces that have shaped our planet. While the reality is that dinosaurs existed millions of years before humans, the very idea of their coexistence paints a picture of a world where curiosity, adventure, and resilience reign supreme. Although the connections forged between the two species remain firmly in the realm of imagination, they speak volumes about the human spirit, our fascination with the past, and our place in the vastness of time. Let us treasure the stories that have emerged from our curiosity about dinosaurs and humanity. They ignite a passion for exploration and a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. In contemplating this rich history, we celebrate the journey of evolution, survival, and creativity that has brought us to where we are today. The fascination with these magnificent creatures endures, compelling us to look back in time, reminding us of the wonders of our world and the narrative threads that bind us to the great history of life on Earth. Sharks are some of the most fascinating creatures in the ocean, renowned for their impressive size, agility, and fierce predatory skills. Among the many myths that surround these magnificent animals, one of the most persistent is the belief that sharks do not get cancer. This widely held notion has been popularized in various forms of media, and has even led to the misconception that sharks possess some sort of unique biological defense against this disease. However, the truth is far more complex. Sharks can and do develop cancer, just like many other species, including humans. The origins of this myth can be traced back to the early 1990s, when researchers noted that sharks have a relatively low incidence of certain types of tumors compared to other animals. This observation, combined with the observation that shark cartilage was marketed as a dietary supplement with the claim that it could prevent cancer, fueled the misconception that sharks are immune to the disease. Sadly, this misleading idea took root and spread throughout popular culture, leading many to believe that these magnificent fish were somehow special in their innate protection against cancer. However, scientific research has firmly debunked this myth. Studies have shown that sharks are not exempt from developing tumors. In fact, various research projects have documented cases of cancer in different species of sharks. For instance, researchers have discovered tumors in the livers of several shark species, including the hammerhead and the tiger shark. These findings indicate that sharks are subject to the same biological vulnerabilities as other animals, though they may experience different types of tumors or have different patterns of tumor progression. To really understand the relationship between sharks and cancer, it is essential to explore the biology of these extraordinary fish. Sharks are a diverse group, comprising over 500 species, each with its own unique characteristics and adaptations. They have evolved over hundreds of millions of years, which has equipped them with fascinating physiological traits. Sharks possess a unique immune system that differs from those of other vertebrates. They produce specialized proteins, known as shark immunoglobulins, which are believed to confer a certain degree of disease resistance. However, this does not render them immune to cancer. The cartilage of sharks has indeed been an area of interest for researchers. Shark cartilage contains various compounds, including proteins, glycosaminoglycans, and minerals, which are thought to play a role in their unique health attributes. Nevertheless, while preliminary studies have suggested potential anti-cancer properties, more substantial and rigorous research is needed to fully understand these effects and how they can be harnessed for human health. Additionally, the environment in which sharks live may influence the incidence and prevalence of cancer. Sharks are often found in oceanic waters, where they are exposed to various environmental factors that can affect their health, including pollutants and pathogens. The impact of these external factors could contribute to the development of cancers in shark populations. Furthermore, the myth surrounding sharks and cancer has important implications for conservation. Misinterpretation of the relationship between sharks and cancer detracts from the critical issues facing these animals today, such as habitat loss, overfishing, and the demand for shark fins and cartilage in traditional medicine. Raising awareness about the real challenges sharks face is vital to ensure their survival and ecological balance in marine environments. In addition to their biology and environmental pressures, the ongoing research into shark species has the potential to uncover new pathways for medical advancements. Understanding how sharks respond to disease can lead to exciting developments in our approach to cancer treatment. For example, investigations into the unique properties of shark cartilage and immune responses could help inform new therapeutic strategies for humans. Unfortunately, misinformation can often overshadow the reality of these beautiful creatures. Sharks have been around for millions of years, adapting and evolving through various ecological changes. Their endurance and success in marine ecosystems highlight their incredible evolutionary traits, rather than a mythical invulnerability to diseases like cancer. In conclusion, while the belief that sharks do not get cancer has captured the imagination of many, the evidence clearly shows that sharks are not immune to this disease. They can indeed develop tumors, and their unique biology warrants further study to understand the complexities of their immune systems. As we continue to explore the depths of our oceans and the mysteries of sharks, it is essential to promote factual information about these magnificent creatures. In doing so, we can contribute to shark conservation efforts and ensure that they remain a vital part of our marine ecosystems for generations to come. Let's embrace the truth and continue to learn about the wonders of the natural world, including the incredible stories of sharks, their challenges, and their resilience.